So the good thing about tonight is I'm a little bit busy tomorrow. Tomorrow I have to take my daughter for a checkup. She's got, one of those, important checkup types of things. And so I'm going to go and we're going to do one show tomorrow with Neon Space because they've got whitelisted and they're going to release their NFTs, which is pretty cool. But usually after our show, we do it. We do the edge, but like I think I messaged you and you were like, no more shed, please. I need a week away from the shed, which is cool. And we've been thinking about maybe doing one after the Cryptowriter roundtable, for a while. And I thought this was a good one. I had fun on that. I don't know if you caught how much of it you caught, but
I caught the last 20 minutes. It looked like a good one. It's always nice to see Corey, although I don't think I heard him speak.
No, he did. He did. We gave him the floor a couple times early on, and he's like, I really like co-hosting, especially the Eden podcast with him.
Yeah,
he's quiet. He's a much better listener than me because obviously, like, I'm just talking and not listening to what you were going to say. But when you give him the chance to speak on politics and on governance in general, go back and watch like what he had to say, and it's fucking brilliant, right? Like, and one more, we're going to do this next week. Actually, we just kind of decided it. Next Tuesday on Tech Talk on a Tuesday. We are going to have a live induction ceremony into Eden OS with me and Corey.
No,
we're gonna be inducted, and I want you to come along because you're a member. You can be a part of it. We've got I think Dominic, and I'm gonna ask John because John was the one who kind of made me change my mind. And you're inducted as well, so it would be really cool if you could come as well and join us and be our inductors.
You definitely, I think Dominic suggested this, but you definitely got to put up some EOS on the line. We'll throw some Finney coins behind it to sweeten the pot. And we actually, when you do decide to do it, we got to build this up a little bit. We got to promote this a little bit because I think it'll be a lot of fun. I know with Eden membership, they're trying to grow membership. And Eden needs to promote itself better, in my opinion. So this is one clear path, to where you're kind of marketing it. It'll be fun. People will watch it. People will enjoy it. And then they'll want to join Eden, hopefully. So,
yeah, well, I mean, if you guys want, we can stream it live to your channel as well. Like, I don't mind that. It's up to you guys.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
this is the type of idea that we definitely Cryptowriter, EOS writer, whatever you want to call us, Finney, Finney.world. We definitely want to get behind it because we can help with stuff like this, and it'll be fun.
I got asked by a friend of mine the other day. It's like, hey, this influencer, like, can you show our project to them? And I'm like, no, I don't really do that because, like, I kind of get annoyed when people like show their shit to me, right? Yeah. But it was funny today in the comments because somebody asked, like, I'm kind of new to EOS and I don't know what to do. Like, how do I learn about EOS? And I'm like, well, go to the Cryptowriter channel, even though this is a Cryptowriter podcast. But like, I'm serious, like. This is Jimmy D. Like, this is why I kind of, wrote for them before Voice. And like, I really do believe in what they produce, like above and beyond EOS, even like into the other chains as well. So, yeah. We got 6 people in the audience. Please share this out. Like, I've been streaming since, like, I don't know. Like, I think you made the joke the other day that I'm like addicted to streaming.
But if you want to get people in the stream, you do this. You go to the Cryptowriter Telegram group, and I forgot to do this the first time.
I should post that as well in our channels as well.
But you go to the channel and you say, I'll just start the message with any coins will be given away. And then you add the link. Maybe I need like a fire emoji or something. Is that what you would do? A fire emoji?
Ironically enough, I only use fire emojis in trios. I don't know
Oh
why.
yeah,
But
yeah.
like,
I just did a quad, but then I got to pin the message, and then we pin it, and then people are gonna see Finney coins will be given away, and then a few of them will show up because they just live off Finney coins. It's wonderful.
right? I mean, it hurt today, Sean. Literally, I had pains in my groin when I burnt those Finney coins, and it's gonna even hurt. It's gonna even hurt more because I want to chat to you because this show's about this show's about us. This is what we do, but like it's gonna hurt even more in a little bit when I pull up my atomic hub on the screen. And we burn some of those Finney coins. I have enough iridium that I can burn 2 iridium Finneys for the base layer, and then I can burn those, and I can get the bare metal fin. Sorry, the BTC miner fin. And so we're going to do that on air, just in case we need to take a clip and anyone can see it. But I burn them in 3s or 4s because for some reason I kind of want to. I don't know. I kept 1 coin in my account that on wax, like a really super low mint. But I'm just like, I just kind of like if I don't have a coin in my wax account, I will never know what the price is. But at least now I can hover over and I can see what that coin's worth. It's kind of a weird thing that I do. But I got a rhodium Finney today. That was pretty fucking sweet. We can look at it later, but like I was pretty stoked about that. It was a special Tom. Who is it? Tom. It's just like a celebrity Finney.
Wait, you got a rhodium Finney?
I think so. Yeah.
You got a influencer Finney?
Yeah, the Tom something.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm not fucking around, man. I don't fuck around with
you
Finneys.
got something. You got something totally different, like.
Yeah, like something that doesn't even have like patched in accessories. Like it's that special.
You burn a coin and got one?
Yeah, I burned a coin and got one.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm really impressed. Like I'm just like, where can I put this?
So Tom,
right? Yeah.
Enjo NKA. I don't even know. How do you say that?
Yeah, right.
The commenter. How would you say that?
Joe Enka? I would say the N silent.
But is that a name or is it N and he just threw a Joe in there? I'd like clarification. Njonka.
I mean, part of it could be an acronym, but he's always here, and we love him for it.
No, but
just NJ is fine. Fuck it.
Right, but his question wasn't the Rolo snapshot already taken? It was taken, but if Jimmy B, we haven't minted. Hold on. Okay, we haven't minted the Rolo Finneys yet. At least I don't think Kenny has. He'll probably do it when he wakes up. So if Jimmy gets his BTC miner on the show, we are going to add him to the airdrop because he's a special person and we're going to make an exception.
But that's not why I did it. Like I didn't even know about when the meeting was.
I know you didn't know.
I just went into my account today, and like usually when I'm stressed out, when I don't have shit to like, I need to relax, I go and I play in the Uplift. But I was in my account today because I had to transfer some things. I had to do some things like, so actually I went in because I wanted to see how many mining packs I had, because the mining, the coins that offer free land for the Uplift mining ring packs, they've got like a 7-day window. And if they're not unpackaged and in your account after 7 days, those coins, then you don't get the free land, right? Like if they're not unpackaged in your account, if they're in your account, then you get the free land after 7 days, right? But there's an expiry date on it.
Yeah. Wait, that promo pack that came. Okay, I bought a land, right, with the whitelisted land sale. I got the token, then I got airdropped the 2 rails and a land, whatever I got, and then I got a mining promo, and I just unboxed it yesterday. But is that what you're talking about?
No, so we had a
promo mining pack.
Well, that's included.
But does that have an expiration date?
No, so
Okay.
so let me clarify this. The pack itself does not have an expiration date. The miners that are in any of the packs that were bought during our rig sale do not have an expiration date.
Okay.
But there was an extra item included in every pack, and the extra item could have been one of two things. The first thing that it could have been is basically a cover that is valueless, that has no monetary value whatsoever at all, of the pack, because people really like the packs. They like the artwork on it. So we added that. And if you didn't get that cover that had a zero monetary value, what you got was like a special coin. There was a 20% chance that every pack that was opened could have had this coin in it. And that coin correlated to Freeland and Uplift. And so basically that coin only that correlated to Freeland and Uplift, if it's still in the pack, so it's not revealed yet, you don't even know if you have it, if you have a closed pack, then those become mute after the 7-day cutoff day, right?
Is this the rig sale pack sale, or is this where is this pack coming from?
That was the 48-hour rig sale pack.
Okay. Right.
So yeah. So like I burned a bunch. We'll go in and look at those as well. Maybe after the Finney stuff, we'll go in and look at that. But I burned a bunch of those, and I wanted to see, like, because I bought a bunch, and I wanted to see how many I had left. I wanted to actually save one for this show so that we could rip it here. And then when I was in there, I'm like, well, if we're gonna rip one of those packs and see what happens, then maybe we should do something with Finney's. But I'm like, I don't want to burn a Finney coin. That's kind of old. Like, just a minute here. Just a minute. No, but like, we've already done that live on the show. That's no fun. Like, but what if we did this, right? Because we get to talking. What if I have a look at my account and I'm like, okay, wait a minute. I got quite a few Finney coins stashed away that I haven't burned. So what if I burn a shit ton of them in batches, because I don't want to burn them all, and I see like how many base metals I can get, and then on the show we can show people how to upgrade, and how to do all that stuff. We can do it live for most of the people here already know it, but like, I just thought it would be fun. I haven't done that yet. I'm one of the few people that hasn't upgraded, right? And I've never seen it. No, but I've never seen anyone do it live, or even on a show, right? So let's do it. Like,
let's do it. First off, though, congratulations on the Uplift sales. I know that Runway is going to be helpful big time to get this thing really rolling. I had an idea. I don't know if it's possible, but and you probably don't know, but I think it's a good idea. Okay, so right now, if I'm not mistaken, the only real utility for Upliftium is to buy images on your plot. And right now you reach out to Jennifer, someone, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I should drop that in the links too. Yeah. But yeah, Jen has a Google Form sheet that you can reach out to her, and you can get an image put up in your plot for 100,000 Upliftium.
So I was thinking, because we're our shift world, Fin City, whatever, Shift City, whatever you guys, I know you call it Fin City. It's really called Shift City in the story. But we're adding layers to get it ready for the crypto Finney or Finney Volume 1 pack drop. That's at the end of this month. Anyways, I wanted to put some billboards up in the city, and I got to thinking, and our builder and I were talking about this. Why not sell, if this is possible, right? Right now, 100,000 Upliftium gets you one image. Why not sell a premium image, okay, for like 1 million Upliftium, that the image is like hosted, so that we, right, if you have one of those images, we can go and swap it out in the background, right, for a different image.
So actually, this is interesting, because we had this conversation in an earlier stream that we did with all of Lgnd earlier tonight. days are melding into nights and nights are melding into days.
Right.
But anyway, a few of the people in the comments were like, we love watching you guys because this is like an open business meeting. And I think that's what decentralization should be. And this is what I love about, doing this show with you, because there's no hold bar. It's like, sometimes we talk about our, the pleasing self habits, and sometimes we talk about like real world business shit, right? But here's the thing: we were talking about you in a meeting yesterday about what you guys are doing with your QR codes and how you're able to swap the back end on that, right? Like, so so when someone, I'm gonna get back to what you were saying because I think you have a good idea here, but like when you put up a QR code in the Uplift, then you're able to actually swap out the back-end image or the back-end NFT that is connected to that QR code. Do you know, Sean, is that automated? Is it possible to have that automated? Because that's kind of huge if it is. Or is that process that you guys have been working with Reese, I think did it as well, is that right now a manpower process? Is it possible to automate that functionality?
I don't know. Kenny would be the one to ask. I think we pay for a QR service, or we pay a small monthly fee, and I think there's like you can go in there and set them up how you want. But they're assignable QR codes. You just put in a new link in the back end. Whether or not that process can be automated, I'm not sure. But I think so to carry that on forward to now, what you're saying is, what if you were able to host an image inside the Uplift? Yeah,
you would have control over changing at any given time that you want. So is that what you're asking, kind of?
Yeah. So the Uplift server isn't hosting the image. The Uplift server is pointing to image hosting service, right?
That's fucking brilliant, actually. That's really fucking brilliant. And I would say that I like the idea of getting 100,000 million Upliftium from you. But we had this conversation in the back rooms the other day as well, which inherently become open whenever Corey or I get on the air, mostly him, but I 4 streams in a row and I'm almost out of sake, so fuck it. But like a million yen seems a little bit steep for Upliftium, because the kind of the point was, do we really want to just cater to the whales on this type of shit? Shouldn't we be, as a social, kind of a 3D metaverse social platform, being allow all of these players to do it? So I really like that idea. I would love to see that tested out on the Cryptowriter plot and see if it's actually possible. Yeah. So we would love to figure it out.
We would love to test it out, because my thinking, I was talking to Smithy, our builder. We got to have him on sometime, or I know you want him on one of the other shows.
Well, fuck, any show is fine. He's an amazing builder.
He's placed, right, kind of billboards or spots for billboards around Shift City. And I was walking around yesterday, and, you turn a corner and you see one there. They're well placed. But when I went back to where Finney landed, which is kind of like our starting point to our city, it's the best kind of view of the city. I'm like, how can we put a billboard, right? Like somewhere where when everyone gets to the starting point, they look out and it's there. Okay. And then I was thinking, well, wouldn't it be cool? Okay. If we use this billboard for advertising, I'm not going to mention your idea, that they can figure it out. But
I'm just thinking that in my head, right?
But also, like, with our pack drop is coming out at the end of this month, how cool would it be if we had this one sort of featured billboard, okay, that when people came to our land, they could kind of see it from everywhere. It's kind of like your entry point. And we could say, Finney Volume 1 pack drop on July, whatever, and have that advertisement right there. Because if this takes off, that's what's going to happen, right? These metaverses, cities they're going to want to advertise. And for you, if someone's and I know, look, it's not going to scale unless it automates more. I'm sure the plan for you is to automate this image process. But as of now, you have to talk to Jennifer and have her do the image. Well, if everyone wants an image, I don't know how long that process takes, but
Right.
this idea where you could pay more, right? Because I know you need utility for the token, right? So paying for a billboard's utility, but let's say every plot got one or could pay for one or a couple of these billboards where they could go and swap the image in the background, like we would do it.
But here's the thing.
Two here. We're
like
20 minutes in. One hears the thing per every 10 minutes. I'm keeping tallies on my little dry erase board here.
Yeah, well, I didn't do it in the.
Jimmy's going for the record.
I did it. I did it purposefully in the last stream because I hadn't said it yet. But yeah. So what's interesting about this is, and thank you, Charlie Q. But I'm not a dev, but one of the things that I love about the team that I work with, and also, you know, Sean might not be a paid advisor, but he's definitely a collaborator. I mean, like, I get told that, you know, ideas which are obviously credited to him are genius, and also I get told, you know, in the back rooms of our chats that like he's just gonna have to wait because that's not happening right now. We don't have the resources for that shit, right? So in a way, you are like an unofficial part of what we think. But I really like this a lot, and I know you didn't want to spill the beans, but I'll spill it. Like Corey rolls his, I say this so much on our streams that Corey like rolls his eyes at the fact that I say like, this is a perfect fucking use case for NFTs. When you have NFTs that you can bake into like an economic level whereby, you know, I don't know if this is actually possible, but it seems like it should be possible because you can back an NFT with an amount of money. So what if you back an NFT with an amount of money and it plays on a real world billboard? And then every time that advertisement plays, or every time period that is calculated that it plays, it burns a certain amount. And when that NFT is done, then it's not playable, right? And I can't believe I missed the obvious. I can't believe it took, you. Thank you for that, by the way. But that's the obvious, right? Like the place for that to work first and foremost is in the Uplift, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know what comes from it from a dev level, but I love it. And especially in the Genesis and Gratitude servers, where we have projects that are releasing their own series online. If we can bake that into the system, that's huge, because anyone walking around in the Uplift will see those billboards, they'll see those ads, and they'll be automatically updated. I don't know if it's possible, but here's what I want to do. I want to make it possible, and like, fuck it, for your second billboard, maybe you guys can pay some Upliftium. But for the first billboard, let's just fucking make it work. And like, let's have the crypto Finney, new line on that first billboard be the test case, and we can get our teams together and we can figure out like how this is possible. Because it's brilliant, Sean. It's really a good idea.
Charlie said, what did he tell me to do? He said, we want a pool for crypto Finney. I don't even really know what that means. He said,
I know what it means.
Sean.
Yeah, I know exactly what it means.
Okay. Well,
I don't know. I mean, it's possible. We could do something like that. We actually, Sean and I have actually talked about this off air.
Oh, is this the battery idea?
Yeah, so this is the battery idea.
I got it.
So I think at some point in time there probably will be some collaboration between your NFTs and uplifting mining.
Right.
We just haven't figured out what it is yet. There will never be a pool for every Finney or every Finney coin that exists, because we're not going to stamp all of your NFTs with a battery, and you wouldn't want us to do that, right? Like, it doesn't make any sense, right? But we could come up with a special NFT or potentially a special Finney that does have a battery, and we could definitely put that into the pool. And it's something that we're working on with some of our closest projects. So I think definitely that would be good. We'll pull up screens as well, but I also want to say this. Who you and I really need to have on the show? I don't know if you've ever met them, but you would love them, and they're obscure enough to to blow us out of the water. Like our random talks about like, you know, our our random talks about Ford's bells or whatever he's whatever the bells and whistles of Ford as he's, you know, chugging down the street, beeping his horns for the ladies. No, but I know. But the nasty hooks. Have you ever met the nasty hooks?
No.
I do a stream with the nasty hooks, and the nasty hooks. We do it once a week. We go in and we build on their plot just because it's fun. They're a comedy duo, and the reason that they like being, you know, on the stream with me is because they kind of need to hold back all of the fucks that they're going to be dropping, because that's what they do. They go into Discord channels. They do comedy. They're really quite funny. They're quite hilarious, and you guys would get along with
what are they
each
called?
other like the nasty hooks.
The nasty hooks. I like the name. So this thing right here,
yeah,
that spot, I think that would be a great little entry billboard. Why? Because when you're standing on the deck of the nightclub, well, this is the deck of the nightclub, you can see it, right? And when you're standing on the bridge, boom, you're looking right at it. And when you're standing on Finney's Hill, boom, it's right there.
Stop.
Yeah.
Taking screenshots of my own stream. How interesting is that?
Get it from the nightclub.
I already got it.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
I like this idea a lot. I think this could definitely go somewhere. And I don't know if we actually ever entertain that. It's funny because we always harp on Ethereum.
Yeah.
For having NFTs that are basically not even on the blockchain. They're just IPFS hosted images, right? And what happens if that server goes down?
Yeah.
However, advertisements in billboards or pictures of NFTs that are in the Uplift, they're not NFTs themselves. They don't actually need to be hosted anywhere other than IPFS. So yeah, I'm sure. I don't know. We're probably the biggest risk is like we would probably have to. So I'll be honest. Now that I think about it, like the biggest complaint that our team will probably have is like, we're gonna have to, you know, monitor this. What if somebody puts up like an advertisement, because if it's not directly hosted by our server, then you know, somebody puts up something that like puts our whole project in jeopardy because it's not PG-13 or something like that.
Right.
However,
you start with, you know, people you trust, and you whitelist them to do this.
Well, I wouldn't even say
you'd have to set up, you know, you probably have to have the lawyers give a list of shit you're not allowed to do. And
right. Exactly.
And that's the terms of service for using the service. But, you know, visually, I love the idea of how with Shift City or any Minecraft city, it's like
what you talking about, Fin City again?
Yeah, Fin Shift City. You have the blocks, right? The buildings out of blocks, but then you bring in the images. And I just think the contrast looks so cool. Like, I cannot wait till our city has multiple billboards up, right? That are kind of, I don't know. It's going to be really cool walking through there and seeing everything.
Martin MD, I don't know if you're a public-facing figure, but I would love to have you on the stream sometime, because you're always here anyway. So we may as well get to know who the man who coughs into his elbow is. But yeah, like Sean, like I understand finally why Kenny keeps you around. I got it. Yeah. You're the genius under the. No,
Kenny. See,
just kidding. Like I do want to throw this out.
Why are you throwing shade at Kenny? Why does everyone want to throw shade at Kenny?
No, you guys are amazing, and the way that your YouTube and you know, the young buck now, he's kind of a part of it as well.
It works because it's a long distance relationship. That's why. That's why it works.
Morton knows. Morton knows.
You know, yeah, Morton.
Nah, man, these guys are great. Like you would love these guys. We'll set up a stream. And it's funny because like I'm not drinking at that time, and I might not be drinking a year after this as well, because I'm planning on. Have you ever watched the documentary about the boy who just basically he's 5 years old and he travels around with his parents who are like hippie hippie surfers, and the name of it's like a docudrama kind of thing, but the name of the movie is the kid's name, and I always forget what it is, but it's really interesting. And I'm at the point right now where I might actually be able to do that. Like, what if I just, you know, show up in Florida for 3 months and we say, you know, fuck this, you know, computer thing, like where we do the Edge of Obscurity. What if we just come over and hang out in your backyard? We hang out in a public park and we just sit there and we do what we do live in person, right?
Right.
Like,
well, it would give me incentive to
get outside.
To do my shed up. And I mean, I'm going to get that project going in the next couple months, but I want to turn it into that workspace podcasting studio. One thing I want, and I was thinking about this. I was actually thinking about this after the How to Podcast show, or How to Do a Good Podcast show.
That was fun, by the way. If anyone hasn't checked that out, that was
I forget who I've seen doing this on their podcast.
Well, you know who you haven't seen telling you how to do a good podcast is the podcaster who can't even stay on the stream for more than 2 minutes.
But he does an audio only podcast.
Anyway, continue.
So in my shed, once it's imagine it all finished and stuff, I could set up 2 like baller leather chairs, like thick leather, right? And they're kind of sitting back, reclining slightly, but you're sitting there chilling, okay? And then you have the microphone, okay? That's just right over your shoulder. You can just pull it there. So you don't have to sit at a desk or anything, or like you're always hunched over your laptop. You don't have a monitor? You don't have a monitor, right?
No, I use a laptop.
But whatever, we could just sit in the shed, just chilling. You know, you got it up on the TV, whatever. Maybe you got a little soccer game off on the side, and we could just do the podcast like fully comfortable.
I think I want to make this happen, and I think when we make this happen, because I don't think it's an if, I think it's going to be a when. I think when we make this happen, we're going to officially change the name of the podcast to The Shed.
The Shed.
Like, can we do that?
Like
I like it to the Edge of Obscurity and beyond, but let's just change it officially to The Shed.
Oh, they want a wheel. They want a wheel. See, some of these people are here for the coins. Yeah, nice glass of scotch, puffing on a cigar. Macallan 18 years, nothing less than Macallan 18 year.
Well, I mean, we could do it at nighttime too.
I want to share my screen because I'm gonna burn a wax Finney. Man, they want wheel though. Someone's got to make the list for me. That's the thing. Who wants to volunteer and do the list? Because I'm not capable.
Are you guys like seriously?
Where's Hollywood Taylor while we need him?
Exactly. Like you guys out there in the comments, we love you. We don't want to throw any shade at you, and we know that you're like completely degens, and that's a term of endearment coming from my good friend Corey. But like, get your shit together. The young buck is sleeping. He needs his beauty sleep. He's over in Australia. He's not fucking up at this time of day. Only the crazy people in Asia are up at this time of day. But let's, you know what I'm going to do? Maybe if there's somebody out there.
Sean, use Google Forms.
No.
They don't understand me talking. Hold on. Talking into a microphone while trying to listen to you drone on, me. Yeah, that's multitasking. And
There's
to
something
think
I
that
have for you here.
to think that I can set up a Google form right now, someone else has to set it up. If they send it to me in Telegram, then we can push it out. Like
No.
See, hey, hold on. Cryptowriter, we reward active community members, right? Like that's
Right.
our whole thing. So
Yeah.
someone be a good active community member and set it up, and we'll appreciate it and we'll get it rolling. But it's
So
hard to collect names and do all that. I'm not good enough. And
yeah,
Jimmy's on like 4 hours. Jimmy, I'm not gonna let you talk. All right, go ahead.
that was the best delivery, but worst ending ever. I was expecting something more.
Oh,
No, but I'm with Sean 100% on this, right? Like I am on 4 hours. I'm almost at a sake. Things are gonna get fucking weird because like the shit that's in the liquor cabinet is way heavier than this. I mean, this is why apparently you all tune in because like I don't know. We talked about this last week. Like, how did you feel about being like the non-sober one in the room last week? Like that was kind of fun. You messaged me after, and you're just like, I much like it better when Jimmy is the one that's like on his rampaging rants. Like,
well,
I don't know.
I don't mind being a little tipsy. People in our group after that show, they thought I wasn't going to be able to like walk back in the house. I'm like, oh, this ain't my first rodeo. Like, yeah, it's more the vape pen than it is the alcohol for me. If I'm just like trying to teach you how to French inhale and whatnot. Anyways, though, like, come on, I'm not stumbling around. This definitely ain't my first rodeo. But I didn't like being a little chemically enhanced and being uncomfortable in the humidity with the termites flying around. Like I didn't like that. It'd be much more enjoyable.
And here you want to put 2 leather seats in the shed in the humidity being chemically enhanced.
No, it's going to be completely finished, air conditioned, everything, Jimmy. Look, think about this. It will have a little like a little Scotch cabinet, and we just go in there and pour glass and sit back in the chair in the AC. It'll be great. But last week was the exact opposite. I was sitting on this little metal stool thing. It was shaking. It was hot. It was storming outside. I couldn't open the doors and get some airflow because all the bugs and shit would fly in. So I was just uncomfortable.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's make it happen. I mean, I like that idea.
You said. Oh, before I forget, you were talking about that documentary with the kid, or the docudrama, and I said this the other night in our chat. It's one of the benefits about getting old, and I didn't realize this until a couple nights ago, is that you don't remember any movie you watched. Okay. So I went back. We were out of shows. We were like, what do we watch? And There Will Be Blood. I don't know if you've seen that movie. Daniel Day-Lewis. It's one of my favorites. Okay, this is how old I am. It's one of my favorite movies, and I come across it, and I'm like, God, I love this movie, right? But I can't remember a damn thing that happened in it. Okay, so we watched it again, and it was like almost like watching it for the first time, except I knew it was good. And I came out of there and I'm like, man, I want to watch all these other movies that I've watched before, rewatch them, because typically I only watch movies once. So I never remember them. I was never the person that can watch a movie over and over. But I'm going back and I'm revisiting all my favorite movies because I don't remember them.
So a couple of things. I was just, while you were talking, I was just trying to remember the name of that movie, and it kind of clicked. The name of the movie is Given, actually.
Okay.
And it's a bit weird at times, right? Like they have like a natural pool birth type of thing. So if you're not into that, that might be weird. Because like people get in the tub with the lady, and that's cool. Like I'm all about free choice. But it was a good. It was a really good flick. I really enjoyed it. It reminded me a lot of that old surfer movie God damn it, I suck at movies. Like I'm with you though. Like I don't remember it.
I don't remember.
But a friend of mine made me do this, and I suggest anyone who kind of likes movies does this, because it's a really interesting exercise to put yourself in. Think of your top 10 movies of all time and make a list. They don't necessarily have to be 1 to 10, but just try to think of your top 10 movies. Not right now, like we're not going to do this now, but try to like put it on paper, your top 10 movies of all time. And most people will end up with like a list of 30 and be like, holy fuck, like how do I like cut this back to 10?
A list? Did you say a list of 30?
Yeah, right, or more,
Wow.
right? Like how do you get to a top 10, right? Like what are you looking for? Like it's really difficult. And it's like, you know, I had really obscure things like you on my list, like Last of the Mohicans. I thought that was a brilliant movie, right? Like Gangs of New York, for example. But then you gotta like put some animation in there, right? Like I don't watch it every day. I'm not a big fan of it, but like, I mean, Toy Story fucking did amazing things for the music industry, right? And you start thinking about all of these different genres of movies, and like, what are the top 10 movies that were the best that were ever made? Like it's almost more difficult than like condensing all of the things you want to say into Twitter, into that word count. Like it's really difficult actually. If you actually write down a list of your top 10 movies, if you just like speak it out, you're like, oh, that's easy. It's this. But like if you actually put it down on paper, you're always going to get to number 11 and then number 12, and it's just going to become a giant scratch pad.
Here, I put a okay, now I got, thank you everyone for the forms. No.
Stop.
No.
We're not going to do this.
No, yeah, we are going to do it. We are going to do a wheel
No,
spin.
Somebody else has to.
No, they set up they did, but they can't share a link because they're not admin on StreamYard. So they've given me the link, which I am then going to share in the private chat because I'd share the link myself, but you won't make me an admin of StreamYard. So I'm going to put sorry,
I jumped the gun there. I thought they were asking you to do something.
I'm going to put
asked my good friend Sean to do something.
Najoanka's form in the
NJ's
private
form.
chat, because
NJ's
I got
form.
like 3 forms. They're awesome. They stepped up. They put out 3 forms, and I'm going to share that with you, Jimmy, and you share that form in the private chat. And
I know
people.
Yeah, we do have to give you, priority on this channel. It's not about you, it's about me, man.
Jimmy can't.
No, I mean, like seriously, like if I share this link with you, like maybe we do it after the EOS induction. If I share this link with you, it's like mapped to like Corey's cell phone, so Corey's got to like approve it, and it's
yeah.
I remember the time that like I tried to set up the live stream for the Cryptowriter, so that like we could stream it live, and like sorry, Kenny and I are in the same time zone, and it fucking took 3 hours, right? Like it's just like, this isn't working. What code? Like it's like, yeah, it's just
I know.
So let's do this. Well, you guys set that up. NJ sets that up. Thank you, NJ. I will send you something, in return for that awesome community collaboration that you're doing right now. Drop your wax counts in the comments, and let's hop on into me sharing my screen.
They're gonna put the wax accounts in the form, I think.
Oh yeah, put it in the form because that's what's going on.
Yeah. What's your wham?
I mean, four live streams. I don't really know what's going on. Normally, Sean, I would move this to my, which is really dumb because normally what I would do is I would move this to my like account that people aren't supposed to know, but like people are really smart, so like when they figure out, what's happened with my name and my tags and stuff like that, then they can figure this out.
Okay.
But I'm going to share my I'm going to share my Kenzai crypto
Ooh.
account. And you know what I'm stuck on right now?
What's that?
I'm stuck on a stream from last week that I had paused, and you have this really weird smile on your face from from inside the shed. And
oh yeah, good.
and I can't actually. I don't actually know where our stream is. We have now because I can't find it again. So yeah, sex with watermelons. You go.
Uh-oh. This form, it seems this form is no good because it's a multiple entry form.
No, that's not good. Nice try, though.
The bots are rushing in. There's like 14 people listening. There's 300 wax accounts on the forum.
No, that can't. That's not right. It doesn't work that way.
Who's got, wait, someone... They say the form's rigged. Who should we try? Joe's form? Luckily, 3 people sent me form, the Harms form. We'll try this one. Let's see if his is rigged.
Yeah,
here.
I mean, let's try another one.
Here.
No offense, NJ. I mean, thank you. It's cool.
Try this one I just shared.
Okay, I will try it, but first, are you still there?
Well, yeah, we need an Eden election of forms.
Well, you know what we need. We need
to see which form we should use. Everyone set up a form. We'll do an Eden election. We'll get it sorted out. If you don't want to, you can just be there to help reach consensus if you want.
Oh, sorry. I gotta put that form up. Okay. Right?
Yeah, someone Charlie Q. Someone wake up Hollywood. Oh, I gotta show you the this is pretty funny.
Hollywood's good. I like it. Charlie Q is good too. Shout out to you, Charlie Q. I really like you. I really like how passionate you are towards the Cryptowriter because I mean it's very valid. They're an awesome community. They're an awesome thing that we need in the space in order to get information. But yeah, be a little bit positive. I mean, so Sean, let's talk about this a little bit.
Share the screen though. Just share the screen.
Well, I mean, okay, fair enough. But I want to talk about this because
this got created. Hold on. This got created. The Taylor Hollywood Arnold NFT. There he is. There's the young buck, a rising star in the space. I mean, just to be transparent, I do collect royalties off of any of Taylor's success. So yeah, incentives are aligned. Go out there, follow him on Twitter. I think it's at Taylor Arnold _. That's off memory. My memory is not great, but yeah, check it out. In this NFT, we'll put one up for auction. We might as well put one of these up for auction and see what it goes for. But there it is.
Right.
Taylor Hollywood Arnold. All right. What were you going to say?
No, so I'm about to share my screen. But before we do that, our planet was interesting this week. Bonds kind of, we got to get Bonds on next week. Some of your community members have been a little bit harsh on him. Fair enough. I mean, I do realize that we have issues, but like Bonds lost the plot last week, apparently. And in retrospect, he owned up to it, right? Like
okay.
Right? Like we all, myself as well, I lost the plot 3 times last week. Right, like
you did?
Totally, in the fucking Telegram channel, like of our project, like people coming in and saying like, how dare you not release a roadmap that we can follow? And I'm like, this is fucking decentralization. I mean, we're building shit that changes like, the paradigms. Like if we fucking if we fucking hinder ourselves to a fucking roadmap, then you say, oh, why did you change the roadmap? And if we hinder ourselves to a roadmap, then you say, like, why aren't you doing anything new? Like we're fucking in alpha, right? And you guys are doing the same thing.
Yeah,
right?
but
like, imagine you have a better roadmap than us.
No, we released a roadmap. For us, though, I don't know. It's different.
It's completely different, right?
Yeah, I think. Look, there's always, no matter what you do, there is going to be a vocal minority of critics. Look, that's just the way it is. The way I see it, though, is
there's a really bad 80s tune in my head playing. That's just the way it is.
Look how big your community is, right? Like,
right.
These are a lot of people that believe in you. Sometimes we're critical and we question things, but it's because we want to see you guys succeed, right? Like, we're not.
Well, fucking hell, the way that you guys question things isn't even a question, right? These are two completely different things.
Yeah, but I don't. My thing is, I still have more questions than answers, and you probably do too, right? Because when you're innovating, you're building stuff. So Kenny and I, we might have an idea, and by the time we actually like finalize the idea, so many more ideas have come up, and we're like, oh, this is a better way, and let's go this way. By creating a roadmap for you guys to create a roadmap, what it does is it locks you into something that could, like, oh, in 2 months we're shooting for this. Well, in 2 days that might be out of date. Like, you might have a completely new idea. So
okay, I like a couple of things, right? Like so people came down on us because they're like, what, you've been talking about Upliftium, wrapped Upliftium, and now you're gonna make it an NFT. And we're like, okay. But the more funny thing for me right now is, like, I released an article the other day that was relevant for 2.5 fucking minutes. 2.5 fucking minutes after I released it, it was irrelevant, right? Like, because we like, and you guys are doing the same thing, but you guys have, like, I'm not saying that you can't have a plan, right? I'm just saying that we can't have a plan, right? Like, when your plan is a little bit different, right? Like,
it's different. It's
like, and you guys pitched a voice on your plan. That was what you were, and then you changed it, right? Like when voice kind of.
But we're not releasing a, like, the writer company roadmap. We don't do that. We've released a roadmap for our NFT, like, product launch, which are already kind of set in stone. Like, once we lock it in, we can put it out there. What you guys are doing in building this thing, there's so much that's changing, because some ideas you have, you don't even know if they're possible yet, right? Like, you want to go down that path, and you're going to test it out to see if it works, but you don't know. We had an idea today, right? I had an idea today that might change your whole strategy. Right. So if you released a roadmap, all it would do is set you guys up for people to be disappointed, like, every week, because the roadmap would be changing by the minute.
By the way, Sean, I like your idea. It's really good, but we can't do it because it's not in our roadmap. Sorry.
Yeah. Can't do it. That's a good point. But look, people need to understand a couple things, right? I'm sure a lot of people are contributing to your project, and maybe some of them are getting paid, maybe some of them it's just like community service. They're putting in work. By having these sales, you're setting yourself up, the company up, to take the next big step forward and really try to fucking take on the world of, like, metaverse adoption. And it's going to take some time, and people are going to be patient. But there's so much going on. There's just so many questions, right? And I was thinking about this sometime. I would love for Corey to join this show, and we can go to the edge of the Uplift Obscurity, because I always have questions, right? And I know our community always has questions. And I just think that the more you guys, I don't know, the show, I think the podcasts are great because you can explore, like, where everyone's mind's at and, like, what you're thinking. And then the community gets it. But I think a lot of issues people have are they don't know the answers to things, and that makes them feel uncomfortable.
Yeah. And I mean, that's... I've been harping on the community all week about this, and I think I'm done because I can't better myself on the than what I did on the Olive Land stream that we did earlier today. But here's the thing. That what you're saying is really interesting because Corey loves and adores you. I can say that honestly, and I love and adore you, and the Cryptowriter community. Charlie Q sent me a private message not so long ago that was really nice. He actually said, "I'm gonna nicify it, just for the just for the public image." But he actually said to me, what the Uplift has contributed to the Cryptowriter and how much support that we've given you is really amazing, because there are other projects out there that aren't doing that. And he wanted to be on the Uplift, and he sent me that message, and it was a really nice message to send, and I was really grateful that we have that outgoing kind of image.
Okay.
Because I like the Cryptowriter. Like, I wasn't a part of the Voice Cryptowriter.
We know you like the Cryptowriter, Jimmy.
Right? Yeah.
We know you like it.
And I was a part of the early Cryptowriter. I was a part of another social project where I interacted with Kenny. I didn't know that you were part of it at that time. But like, Kenny would come into our Telegram channel and drop the links, and I had talks with Kenny and talks with MBlue, and we published articles with Dominic and MBlue about Warbly and stuff, like way back in the day before you guys went to Voice. But I happened to be in the predicament where I couldn't be part of Cryptowriter after it went to Voice because like my nationality wasn't supported, right? And then you guys moved away from it and you're doing your own thing now, which is good. But we had you, Sean, on the channel, and then there's something about you that I really like.
Yeah, I throw shade at Bonds.
I really like Bonds as well. I
love Bonds too.
Right. Like for all the people out there who think that we're like pissing on Bonds, we are a little bit, but we're also throwing shade, right? Like
Bonds is one of a kind.
Right.
If
you gift him the NFT of the one of the kind Bonds, he will fucking sell it.
Look, Bonds, people don't realize it because of his public persona, maybe, but Bonds is like the nicest guy in the world, but he takes a lot of shit. Right. And part of this, I feel guilty sometimes.
And 10% of that shit comes from Charlie Q.
Yeah, and I feel guilty sometimes. I'm trying to the last time I want to send this, he's blocked me from posting GIFs in the Our Planet chat, but I had Charlie actually sent it in. But Bonds is like probably the nicest guy, and I've met him in person. I know he's super nice, but really I've sort of created this atmosphere in our community that like Bonds is the enemy, and I feel guilty about it sometimes, but then sometimes I don't. And sometimes I'm like, stick it to him. But Bonds is one of a kind. That guy's a classic. He's a legend in his own right. I mean, how could he not be? His nickname is Bonds. Yeah,
fair enough. Hey, look, so do you have that DJ table spun up? No,
not in here.
Jesus Christ. Well, I mean, this is going to get awkward because you're going to have to talk these people through the next 3 minutes all on your own.
Okay, hold on. Let me share the screen, though. Hold on, Jimmy. Oh, great. Now would have been the perfect time to do the wheel spin. Thank you, Joe M. I got it set up here, but because I don't have admin privileges on the Edge of Obscurity StreamYard, I cannot share my screen. So this wheel spin is going to have to wait until Jimmy gets back. Don't blame me, blame Jimmy or Bonds. Whatever is more convenient. Why is he not giving you the admin rights? Because I've been asking him for like 3 months and he doesn't want to give up the power. He likes being in control of this stream. You know, if I could just share, honestly, if I could just share the screen when I want to share the screen, this show would be a lot more entertaining because I'd be sharing some great stuff. But because it has to go through Jimmy, then it's not as fun. Jimmy, I want to share my screen. I want to share my screen during the break because that would have been a good time to do this wheel spin.
Okay. Fair enough. I'm going to make it happen next week, but let's do that. But before you share your screen, let's go through this because people are asking about the Finneys and we got to go through it. So here's what we got. We got a bunch of Finneys. Somebody actually, they wanted to see the rhodium. So here's the rhodium. It's a
oh, but that's not a themed Finney.
It's a John Trafford Finney.
They're all John Trafford Finneys. He's the artist.
What the fuck? God damn it! I thought I got something.
No,
special.
hey, you're not allowed to say the artist name. All right.
Okay.
until after Finney 2.0 because we're worried someone's gonna try to like
poach him.
Yeah, they're gonna try to poach him. So we really don't like to talk about that out loud. So
no, I mean, fair enough. But I was like, who the fuck?
Oh, look at that gold Finney.
Well, just wait though. Like I'm pretty impressed with this.
Whoa, you got a wax necklace. These are all yours right here.
Yeah, this is my account. Yeah, so this is like mostly Let me see that one. Let's go through. So this is the one that we burned on the stream the first time. Okay. This is the first Finney that I ever burned. So this is an iridium. It had the Bitcoin necklace, and this is maybe the second one that we burned on the stream together, which is also an iridium. And then this one is. This is the one that I don't think this one was burned, was it?
What do you mean? Oh.
No, it was. Sorry. So this is where I started today.
Okay.
So I got the platinum.
Platinum pleb, but cool sneakers.
Yeah,
he's got the high tops.
Cool sneakers. This one was it was all right. This is another platinum, and I was kind of pissed.
Even for platinum, those are decent platinum.
No, but I was like going for the iridium because I thought the iridium was like the lower level, but I found out later that the platinum were the lower level. This one's not bad. I mean, it has the
gold,
the
another gold. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, this was the
that's the iridium.
That was the iridium one, and this was a rhodium one. This was the rhodium one. I burned this one. This was kind of interesting. Kind of freaked me out. I for some reason when I look at this one, it actually reminds me of like Mortal Kombat for like with the gold and then the gold mask.
And he's got a pink watch,
right? So it was kind of a bit weird. This is another one that I got, another iridium, and I burned all of these today actually. So the majority, because I was like, okay, I got to get 2 iridium.
Iridium, yeah, you got your 6 iridium, right? So you're.
I think I might have 7 iridium, and I'm not really sure which one I want to keep. So that's why.
Platinums do you have?
I don't know. I might have 2 or 3. So yeah, this is another platinum, and this is another gold. So what I want to do is I want to burn. We'll tackle this shit later, by the way. But what I want to do is I want to burn. I want to burn 2 platinum. Sorry, I want to burn 2 iridium Finneys, and I want to burn. Then I want to burn those iridium base levels with the unique tetrahedrons to get the.
It takes 6. It takes you 6 iridium. Do you have 6 iridium?
Yeah. So this one's an iridium. Let's count them
Fuck
together.
yeah.
This one's an iridium. This one's an iridium. So the first three, right?
Yeah, and then the three.
This is a platinum. This is a platinum. This is a gold. This is an iridium. So that's 4. Right. This is a rhodium. This is a gold. This is an iridium. That's 5. This is a iridium. That's 6. This is a platinum. This is a platinum. And this is a gold. So we've got 6 iridiums. So what do I do? Walk me through this. Walk all the other people through it.
Just burn them.
You just burn them. So I go to this one, them. Like the green man. For whatever reason, whenever I look at this one with the giant gold necklace and the green shorts and the green shirt, I always think Bonds. This one, for some reason, just screams.
Oh yeah,
right. I love you, Bonds, if you're watching. So I go down here to burn. This kind of freaked me out the first time I had to burn the coin because I had to go and look it up. Because like burning this NFT will destroy it permanently. I wish there was a little notation here that said, but because you're smart enough to burn a Cryptowriter, crypto Finney, you'll get something in return. I wish there was that little notation on there.
I'm pretty sure that also, just for a little safeguard, if you were to burn 2 iridium, right? So the 3rd iridium would get you the bare metal. That if you burn 2 iridium and then tried to burn a gold, it wouldn't let you burn the gold.
Should we test it out?
It would just say no. I mean, we can test it out, maybe.
All right, fair enough. Well, I'm gonna burn this one.
I wouldn't do it with a gold. I would do it with a platinum.
Okay.
Because if something were to go wrong, you do it with the platinum pleb.
Yeah. Okay. I'm okay. Totally okay to test that out. Why is this? That's weird.
They think this is painful that you're burning that one.
Well, it is kind of painful, right? Like, yeah. I mean, I will up their painful ability. I will up their painful ability. I've only got 6, right? And it says it right on the website. Like, are you willing to pay these for another one?
There.
Just wait till we get to this one, because we're gonna burn this one too.
I love that Jimmy's just like, fuck it. I'm burning this
right? Yeah. I got no choice. I got 1 fucking coin left, and it's a mint less than 100, and I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking burn that. So I got 6 fucking iridiums, and I gotta burn them. That's the only thing I can do. I got no other options. I mean,
oh yeah, everyone's gonna talk about how you burn that 1 iridium, right? They're gonna be like, oh, Jimmy.
Right? It's difficult. It's really difficult. No. But I want the.
He doesn't like it. He doesn't like that iridium. He's getting rid of it. He's gonna get a Rolo tonight. Like, they really like that. You know, for some reason they're really connected with that iridium. It's a good
Well, it's hard, and so okay. So you said this to me. So while we burn through these, six Finneys, pun intended, and totally represented on the pun level. But like this was my idea for you actually. I wonder, because we were thinking about this with the Uplift actually. What were you thinking about with the Uplift that could be an interesting kind of play in what we're doing? What if we got to the point where we could take 4 parcels of land that were in a square, right? Okay. 50 by 50s, and we could have a contract where we could put where we could put them together, and we could create a 100 by 100 plot of land. I think that's something that we're probably going to do in the future at some point, because I think it's an interesting dynamic. Now, I'm not really sure if I want to do this personally. I'm not really sure if I would vote for this, but you could take like a 100 by 100 and you can burn it into 4 50 by 50s. However, how I got to that point actually came through the Cryptowriter. I was thinking about I was thinking about the Cryptowriter, and I was thinking, imagine if there was a smart contract whereby I could own a gold Finney necklace, like what was in that first one that I burned, or a gold wax necklace, which was in the second one. And I could somehow put those two pieces together, and I could create like one of these Finneys, and I could accessorize them, right? Like it's like the Barbie girls play dream, right? Like imagine if I could add these accessories that are already baked into the system, or disseminate these accessories.
Okay. Well,
and build my own like ultimate like base level Finney.
That's because probably through our past conversations that you've been half asleep through, that's kind of the concept behind 2.0, is that you get these attributes and you plug them into the Finney builder, which is already being developed, by the way. Like you can see it take shape. And you just pick your attributes, right? There's a ton of different attributes, and you just pick them. And all you need is one Finney torso and one attribute, and you can mint a Finney out of that. So it'd be the Finney wearing the attribute, and it's already possible, and it's coming out in 2.0. And you're probably the last one to know this.
No, I think that, I think that resonates with me, but I think what I'm more focused on is not spilling the beans about like something else that I might know is coming. And so like, yeah.
Okay. I see. So you're proceeding, you're proceeding with caution.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Like at the same time, when you were telling me that, I was kind of thinking that like,
yeah, we had this conversation live.
What you were actually doing, what you were actually doing is like, you're like, oh, I had this idea where you could do this, this, and this, and this. And then we would release Finney 2.0, like the idea, which has already been released. So thank God it's already been released. And everyone's like, oh my God, they did exactly what Jimmy said.
No, but like, so here's the thing. Like
here's the thing.
Right? But I think we're up to 3 now. I don't want to fucking burn even though the rhodium isn't important.
Here's the thing.
This is the iridium, right? So back to here's the thing. I have so many conversations.
Hold on, make sure how many Finneys have you burned? How many iridiums?
This is the 4th.
Okay, well refresh. Okay, that's fine. Okay. We gotta look though. When we see, there's a chance that your bare metal might have a red or a green chestahedron, and then you're gonna have a tough decision to make.
Why? Because
a green chestahedron, it's only like 1% of all the bare metals has that, and I think the red is 5%. Blue's standard, right?
What does the green chestahedron give me if I keep it?
Nothing, but it's one of the most rare Finneys ever. So it could be $1 million in like 3 years or something. I don't know. But
now I don't even want to fucking check it. Now you got me scared.
But I would love if you burned a green bare metal just for the audience. Because
for future fucking reference, can you just tell me the shit after I fucking burn it? Don't make me think about what.
We should have let him burn it. Burn the green.
All right. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, you got a blue. Okay, that's good. Now burn the other. What, you got 2 more? That's fine.
I'm really fucking hoping that
That's really a common bare metal.
Like I'm really hoping that I don't get a green now, because like this is gonna annoy me. But yeah, so I think you're in the same boat as well. Where am I going? Right. I think you're in the same boat as well. Whereby you're in meetings with people that have these amazing, wonderful, brilliant ideas. Oh no, I don't want to fucking burn that. Not yet. I don't even know if I can burn that one. Platinum. Iridium. Okay. This one's kind of cool though. But the one that I'm really upset about is the long-haired one. For some reason, I don't want to burn the long-haired Finney with the glasses, just because for some weird reason, it actually reminds me of you. I don't even know if you like. I don't even know if you have long hair, but like, for some reason, it just reminds me of like, spiting Sean in the backyard barbecue hour. Because like,
you gotta look at your trades though. Someone has offered you a trade. John McCoffey, the master of ceremonies, John McCoffey, has offered you a trade.
Okay, I don't know what to do because I'm like, you know how you're not supposed to drink and drive?
Too late. He said too late. Too late. Ouch. This is brutal.
Wow.
See, they're trying to trade you pleb iridium finnies for your awesome iridium finnies.
I mean, I'm gonna burn them anyway, so I'm kind of okay with it. Right, like I've already decided
they're your finnies to do what you want to do. You earn those finnies, Jimmy. You can do what you want with them. Don't. This is the mob. This is the mob trying to influence you. Don't.
Hear me out though. Here's the thing. I've already decided.
Here's the thing. Ding 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 ding. Number 4.
I have already decided that I'm gonna burn 6 finnies to get the 2 base level medals, and then I'm gonna go for the BTC miner, just because I think having a BTC miner is cool, right? I think I burned 4. All right, now I wish I would have been. Let's just blame Sean on this because I'm gonna burn them anyway. So if somebody wants to give me a trade for a shit, I don't even know that terminology is possible. Sorry, Sean, but if someone wants to give me a trade for a shit, base level iridium Finney right now. Pleb, whatever is left in the count, I'll scroll over those last 2. I'm definitely willing to take that trade because I'm going to burn them anyway. And we at the Uplift community, we at the Cryptowriter community, we're all about community. And like, I'm a little bit like, I would love for somebody to have the Finney that was to be burned, but was no longer because Jimmy D on a live stream accepted a trade.
Jimmy, by stream number 4 of the day for Jimmy D, he's just turns into a straight baller, and he's just burning rare finnies everywhere. He's like just throwing money, ripping money. He's basically just ripping money in front of you guys.
I'm not fucking ripping money. So platinum. Iridium. So we have this one. This is probably a base level, to be honest. It doesn't have. It has a blue cap, a large mustache, and a brown jacket. I mean, I know 100 guys in the real world that have that shit.
Yeah, they're gonna. It's so funny because, like Kenny said, he's going back and looking at Finney 1.0, like after all the attributes for Finney 2.0, and he's like, I remember looking at 1.0 and thinking there were a lot of attributes, but when you look at the spreadsheet for 2.0, it's insane. It's going to be insane. And you're going to be able to build the Finney of your dreams. Bonds will be building a big shot Bonds Finney, and then he'll be selling it for our planet mining rig.
What happened? I thought I had more. Let's check this. Gold.
You might have
platinum. I'm sure we counted right.
Platinum.
Iridium. This one.
There he is.
Yeah, that's only one. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna blame Sean on this one. Like, he should be way more active in the chats the next time that we do this, because I kind of want to do it again. I'm having so much fun that I think we should do it on EOS as well.
Yeah, everyone send in your most rare finnies and let Jimmy burn them.
Yeah. So well, I haven't actually burnt any coins on EOS yet, but like maybe before the next stream, I'll put something in the Cryptowriter channel.
Blame Bonds. Blame Bonds. Let's blame Bonds.
No, I'll put something in the Cryptowriter channel.
Pitchfork mobs coming after Bonds tonight for this.
But here's the thing. You're making a really good point. Like whoever retracted that order, I apologize to you deeply because you're not wrong. You're 100% right. What if we do this? What it might not be next week's show. I don't know when it is, but I'll post it in the Cryptowriter channel. I'll go in like I did today. I'll burn a few Cryptowriter coins, and in the EOS side, and we'll see if we can get enough base levels to level up the BTC miner on the EOS side. And then what I'll do is I'll give you guys like a week, and I'll basically say, okay, these are my base levels. I'm gonna fucking burn them. And what you guys can do is, like, if you want to offer me a trade for a pleb Finney, right? And this Finney, I'll check back in 24 hours and we'll accept it, because I'm going to burn them anyway. And you guys are right? Like, why not? Why not keep those rare
The
Finneys
only
out
reason this is a thing is because you're doing it like on TV.
Live on air,
everyone
right?
can see it. They don't like it. They're hurt.
Right.
What if we could somehow, what if the Eden election was somehow everyone had a Finney, everyone had a Finney, and the mechanism for like voting for someone is like burning the others out. And then
I mean,
the last Finney at the end, could we do some sort of Eden election of Finneys? Like maybe for March Madness for the tournament, we do this like Finney March Madness, and we figure out who the boom, 2 blues. See, he got a blue. Nothing.
Right.
No harm done.
I've never been so happy to have 2 shit Finneys that are like beyond like second level shit. I've never been so happy to have. Yeah. So now I've got 2 blue Finneys, and I can burn these for a BTC miner. And so here again, I go to burn. I mean, so seriously, like, Sean, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be an ass here, but can we maybe reach out to Atomic Hub and fix this? Because I think this is actually relatively confusing. That little pop-up thing that says like that your Finneys will be gone for good, it might be confusing people. It confused me.
Oh,
right? Like,
it just need to say, but you may get something more awesome.
Right, like no, but it needs to say that you will get something in return, right? Like you're not burning. They're not.
We could tell Atomic Hub, but they're not going to add something for that.
Let me talk to Atomic Hub and see what.
Yeah,
I'm not fucking around. Actually, they might actually be able to do something.
I'm excited. This is the first time I've actually seen the process done live. Someone go from 6 base Finneys all the way up to the BTC miner. And we're gonna add you to the you to the airdrop tonight if Kenny sees my message before he just does it. But we're gonna get you in there.
Yeah, and again, this isn't why I did it. Like we like you didn't even know I was gonna do this. So just to be clear, it's not favoritism. It's just you guys being nice, which I quite appreciate. So let's go. Oh, sorry. The one that's kind of an annoying thing too, like when you click the inventory button on Atomic Hub, it doesn't actually refresh. You have to go to like something else.
Well, why don't you just hit refresh on the page?
There is the BTC
Boom! Look at that. Click on it. Click on it and make it big.
That works. It works really well.
Yeah. So
really
notice the little rat.
Where's the rat? On the floor.
Yeah. You got to click on it. You got to do a little Finney flex here and show it off. There, look at that.
All right.
It's a good looking Finney right there. And that will be stakeable.
Right? And yeah, I'm honestly, like, to go back to what we were talking about before, I'm really excited to what you guys are doing and the stakeable type of stuff that you're doing. But I'm really excited to have a Jimmy D Finney that might potentially have a battery on it. Like,
share my screen so I can spin. I want to spin this wheel.
Okay,
and then we'll burn another Finney, and then we'll distribute it to the winner. Here we go.
This is a good episode. I'm really jiving with this. This is like the perfect.
Thrut.wham.
I mean, I read butt because, I would just put a line in the
now let me go to
butt.wham. You get a coin.
Butt. Butt. I went to Thrut. You went to butt.
Right. So I I actually, like, when I was in university, Sean, I actually like self-published a book and poetry and prose, believe it or not. And one of my poems was called Something About Walking Away, because I'm kind of an ass man. And when somebody walks away and you have to chase them down, those make the best relationships. That's Jimmy D on relationships.
Jimmy. How'd you meet your wife? What was the... No, he had two questions.
Yeah, I really want to answer this. So
how did like the honeymoon like being like when you first meet a girl and there's those butterflies and it's wonderful, and when did that first like connection happen, and then when did the honeymoon phase end?
Right.
Like where it just got like, okay, like we're gonna be together forever, but like the honeymoon's kind of over, like it's not.
Yeah, this is actually a really good story, because there's a thing in Japan called nampa, where guys just like will walk beside a girl down the street, and basically the girl most of the time just ignores him, but like they'll just say like things like, "Oh, you're really beautiful. You have really beautiful eyes." And when they get to the end of the block, they won't say anything. I did not do nampa in that sense, but I used to talk to a lot of people, and I used to do a lot of things. And my friends, believe it or not, this is a really weird story. A good friend of mine, who actually I kind of hit on his girlfriend in an inappropriate way, and he was like the first foreign karate champion of Japan, and he wanted to kick my ass, and he showed up at a restaurant that I was at with like a bunch of my buddies, like two like pro boxer type of dudes. And we had mutual friends, so he kind of like laid back, and I apologized to him. I said, I'm really sorry, we were out of line. Went to his girlfriend's bar, had a few drinks, everything was cool. He became a really good friend of mine, to the point that like we were out one night and I was talking to these girls, and these other weird like kind of foreign guys that like have standards, because if you've been in Japan for a long time, like you don't have those. You just go and you talk to people, right? Like it's different. Like, I'm sorry to say this, but America is so draconian in the way that you're allowed to interact with women. Like oh, you're disrespectful to women, and I get myself into trouble about this a lot.
Oh wait, let's let NFT Joe tune into this.
Well, maybe, but here's
no, go ahead. Here's the thing. I said it for you. Number 5. All right, go ahead.
No, but here's the thing, right? Like, this is the thing. Like my wife, like she walks around the house. She doesn't do this out in public, but she walks around the house, and like she's a dancer. She used to be a professional cheerleader, actually, to be honest, for a baseball team, right? And she's a ballet dancer, and she walks around the house in like short skirts, and like I'm not opposed to like slapping her on the ass, and she laughs about it. She's like, this is the way that sexuality should be. I'm going to be really open about this, right? This is not an uplifter chat, right? This is not an America, you should respect women chat. Like there are women in the world that we're not treating them as sex objects, right? Like we're treating them as individuals who like to feel sexy, right? If you're a guy and you walk into a room and you don't have a pot belly, and you work out and you do that every day diligently, like I know that you do, Sean, and you go to the gym and you work on your body, and you walk into the room and these beautiful women, they turn their heads and they look at you. I mean, it's a good feeling, right? Like this is beyond heckling. It's not like you're at a construction site and you're like, oh, come over here, baby. It's a little bit different, right? Like there's an interactability to this.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was at my mate's place because he's actually as well. He's the Mexican ambassador for beef in Japan. So, and he owns a business that imports pumpkins. Because Japanese pumpkins, there's a problem growing them in Japan with the humidity, so he does it in Mexico and New Zealand and other places. So he had this like food stall at a Mexican event in Umeda, and so me and my other friend kind of dragged me to like kind of support him, and it was just after I had gotten divorced, actually. My ex-wife is amazing. She's awesome, but we just kind of like grew apart in different ways, mostly because I like to go out and she was a little bit, soulless. She liked to be in in our own place. And so just after my divorce, we went out and I met this guy who used to ride a motorcycle, who was actually a blockchain dude. He was into Cardano. He was a smart guy. He ended up getting a job. He ended up getting a job. Like,
this is how long ago? This could have been like 7 years ago that Jimmy met this guy into Cardano.
Right. So he used to be my assistant, because I used to be a swimming instructor at the school, the international school that I worked at, and he was my assistant, and he got into blockchain. And Cardano has a really heavy base in Japan, actually, and like his job basically was to be a rep for Cardano. And they actually employed him. They actually moved him, I think, to Hong Kong, where he became based. And yeah, he was doing that. So he for whatever reason was back in Japan for that event, and I saw him. And I was like, oh shit, like, how's it going? It's good. And he was talking to this dude, this Japanese guy who I didn't know. And all of a sudden my now wife at the time, she showed up. And I was doing my thing, and I'm just like, they were talking, and I kind of thought that he might know her. And I had actually, been on a date. I don't even think he knows this, but I actually had been on a date with his ex-girlfriend, not so long ago. And so like, I was like, in that period of my life where I just wanted to, chill out and, meet beautiful people. And so I offered to buy her a drink, and I bought her a drink, and we talked about whatever we talked about. I don't even remember. And then shortly after, she's just like, I'm like, well, if you gotta go, you gotta go, whatever. Like, I'll get your number. I had options at the time, before I got into full crypto and I got fat and shit. Right. And I'm like, if you gotta go, you gotta go. So she's like, no, but you bought me a drink, so I'll buy you a drink. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Right. So she bought me a drink. We had a drink. Everything's cool. Everything's good. At that time I had like a 3-message rule, right? Like, I would message people up to 3 times, and if they didn't, I would fucking delete them, because I didn't have time for that shit. Don't sigh, but here's my thing, right? So I messaged her twice. I never heard back from her, and it was like New Year's, and I was just like, between Christmas and New Year's, and I'm just going through my phone cleaning out things, and I'm like, I have this girl's name in here, and I kind of remember her, right? Like, so I'm going to send her a message. So I sent her a message, and she sent me back this really cute photo of her and her friend, like, baking cakes for Christmas or something.
Oh, nice.
So I said, okay,
cakes.
Right? So I said, hey, like, do you want to meet up? Like, let's do this. And so we met up, and I think maybe in the back of her mind, like, I was going to teach her English or whatever, right? And that
was your let me come over and teach you some English.
No, I didn't say that.
I can teach you English.
And like, I had her name in my phone, like her name behind the city that like I learned that she lived in, like, right? So like, I could like plan the perfect date. This is how weird I was back in those days, right? And so like, we ended up at this place after my job teaching university, and she ended up there, and I was just like, okay, like, where do we go? And she's like, I don't fucking know. I'm not from here, right? I actually had the place that she was from wrong, and we ended up wandering around a mall because nothing was open, and had kind of a good time. Had a good chat, and there were some other funny things that I won't really relay in there, but we had a good time, and about a week or 2 weeks later, I had messaged her, and I said, like, let's go out, let's hang out again. Like, we went to the aquarium, we hung out, we did all this stuff. We went for dinner after. There was a really lame scene there where I kind of tried to put the moves on her in a Ferris wheel, and it was a little bit weird. But anyway, she's my wife now, so it's kind of okay. So we went out, and we did that kind of thing, and we got to the we got to the restaurant, and we sat down, we had some dinner, and she pulled out her phone, and she started showing me pictures. And what's funny about it is she was showing me pictures of her being a professional cheerleader, and I was kind of like, those are kind of hot, but I don't really care. right? Like I liked her enough at the point in time that like it didn't do anything for me. You know, like some people get into relationships, and I did this myself as well. They get into relationships and they kind of like the person, but then they find out that the person has money, but then they find out that the person has status, and like everything changed. But I was just, she's kind of like, oh, here's pictures of me being a professional cheerleader in Japan. And I'm like, that's kind of nice. What do you want to order next? And it wasn't a game. It wasn't an act, right? Like it was just
Jimmy.
like
Jimmy playing it cool, playing it cool.
Right.
Jimmy playing a little hard to get,
Right. So back to the second question. I had just gotten out of a really long relationship, and I was kind of a little bit, you know, deterred. It wasn't a bad relationship. I mean, I was probably the asshole in that relationship, if I'm honest. And I like, just relationships tend to end, right? And I don't like things to end, right? Like if you ever walk out of me on this podcast, I'm going to be upset. I'm going to want to know, like, I'm going to be like the needy person in this. You're going to be like, oh, I'm busy. We're doing stuff. And I'm going to be like, Sean, why do you want to do this podcast with me? We had so much fun, right? Like sometimes people are like that, right? But after my relationship, you know, with my ex-wife, I was kind of like, we got to the point where my ex-wife still means something to me. She always has, she always will. I think that's kind of important. Even if you ended up hating one another, there must have been something there at some point in time. And I had my wedding ring, because I actually broke my finger and it swelled up and I couldn't get it off. So I had it around my neck. And my wife now, she got really pissed off at me one day. And she's just like, you can't have that there, right? And I was always really open about it, right? Like and she sat down with me one time and she said, here's the thing. I know we've been doing
Here's
our
the
thing.
Number right? 6.
She said it, not me.
She said it.
But she said to me, she said, you know, we've been doing this for like a few months now, you know, and like, what's going to happen next? Like, I'm okay with you doing your thing. I'm okay with me doing my thing. But I mean, like, can we do something, you know, a little bit more serious? Is that all right? Like, I was okay with it before, but I'm not really okay with you seeing other people. And so we kind of went in that direction.
Jimmy, tie off all your loose ends now.
Right.
Get them tied off.
And we had like fights about it and stuff as well. But
she made you choose. She made you choose. Good for her.
Right. And so going to your second question, where is the point where it almost didn't matter? The point where it almost didn't matter was we actually opened a business together. My wife is also she's a designer. She was a dancer. She learned how to sew. She basically worked for a company after she stopped dancing. That made costumes and clothing. So she made costumes for some theme parks in Japan, and she also made like some clothing as well. And she's really talented. So we decided to start a business together, and we decided to start a business whereby we would reform old kimonos. She actually taught me to sew, which is kind of amazing because I sew buttons on with dental floss. And don't laugh, because if you sew buttons on with dental floss, you can melt the ends, so you don't have to tie the back end of it, and that dental floss doesn't break, and it smells like mint, right? You had no idea that we were going to go this far with this question, right?
And if ever you go to a restaurant and get a little steak stuck in your teeth, you just rip off the button, unwind it, and in case you didn't know, I am a flossing fiend.
Yeah, an avid flosser.
I'm an avid flosser. Pretty much after every, I'd say like 1.5 times a day, maybe like 1.2 times a day. Gotta floss. So the question. They think Jimmy has lost the plot.
Let me just finish this up, right? So we got into a big issue. We got into a big fight. I mean, you know, I was at that time a really good boyfriend, right? Like I don't shelter my sexuality at all, and I never will. And it's weird being like on the Uplifters channel now, because like there are certain people who Not necessarily in our organization, but certain people who follow us from America that are very prudish.
For those that don't know, he didn't get the nickname Swingin' Jimmy for nothing.
Fair enough. But I like I've lived in Asia long. I've lived in Asia long enough that I see
furries. Furries.
How
are furries in?
This is a whole nother obscurity and beyond, by the way.
I know Bonds has a fetish for these. I don't know what they are. It's probably a gaming thing, but
he sent you those things in Telegram, right? Those
these elf women.
Oh man, he still sent those to me.
Yeah, he's not. I don't think he's ashamed of it, but it's these like women, but they have these elf ears on, and I've never really. It's interesting.
What's even more interesting is that it led to Bonds dressing up as a woman with elf ears and making an NFT up.
Shout out to Ricardo from the new hit podcast Rolodex. He just had the neon signs people on. I gotta let my dog out.
Okay, well, while you do that, I'll finish the story. I kind of don't want to finish it without you here, though. But yeah, so here's the thing. When you live in another country, number 7, by the way, Sean, which you won't mark in your paper. But when you live in another, I kind of don't want to finish this story without Sean being here. So I kind of feel like, he should be a part of this. I mean, yeah, right? Morton, spin the wheel for EOS. Enough of fucking Jimmy talking about his all his shit. We don't need to hear that. I mean, this is taking a really long time to let the dog out, so maybe I'll just go on with the story. But yeah, like we had a really big fight. Should I just you want me to tell the story again? I mean, Ricardo, by the way, we do need to have you on our channel, and we do need to have you on the next podcast. Yeah. So yeah, back to
hold
the
on.
story.
No, I wanna. Okay, well, can you?
No, I paused for you because I want you to hear.
But I just want, while you're doing that, I just want, before I forget, because we spun the wheel and we got someone, and
did you send it?
Well, we have to burn the Finney, so just share my screen, and while you're talking, I'm just gonna burn a Finney, and we'll see what he gets. But,
yeah, that's what we do. So I stopped the story. But yeah, basically we had a bit of a falling out because we were working together, and I was kind of harassing her because I'm like, if I'm gonna fucking manage this business and you're gonna teach me how to do it, I come home from work, I'd be like slaving over the sewing machine, like creating these awesome mini skirts and dresses that she designed. And I'm not shitting you. This is what I was doing. I was getting really pissy. And it was right before I went to Canada for my brother's wedding. And, the day before we went to Canada, she showed up like 2 hours before we were supposed to leave. And I found out that she was like hanging out with her friends, and like there was this other guy, and I don't normally get jealous, but this other guy was like really nice. And I was just like once we got back from Canada, I found all this shit out, and finally, basically one day I got so pissed off that I just packed up all of her shit, and I just said, look, I can't deal with this anymore. You got to leave. But neither one of us could leave. Neither one of us could break the ice. And in the end, we ended up going on these weird vacations for like 2 months' time, and just having this intermedium. That's like a kind of cool mask. Not bad. Yeah, this is going to the winner. It's a base level Finney. Put out your trades because you'll get it. In the end, like things kind of worked out. Like I went bowling with her family and her nephews and stuff like that, and it was a little bit weird. And I had a conversation with her dad that like she was never supposed to know about, and obviously I told her like the next day, and that's kind of where we ended up. But my missus is amazing. She's really talented. For all of you out there who might be thinking that I don't respect women, one of the reasons that I love my missus the most is we'll be walking down the street and my missus will say, hey, look at that great ass in those jeans up there, right? Where do you think those jeans came from? Or how do you think that we can like create that mini skirt like in our basement, right? Like she's really open. And I think like being really open, good thing that this is alcohol, Jimmy, and not caffeinated, Jimmy. Well, if it was caffeinated, Jimmy, you would never get this much out of me, to be honest. But and I think you know that, Morton. Better stories. But here's the thing, right? Like
here's the thing. Here's ding 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 ding. Number 7.
Number 8, actually. Number 8. Actually.
What did you do one while I was away?
Yeah, I totally did one anyway. but not respecting women together with your wife. I don't know what you mean, NJ. But I think that like there is this ideology that goes around with women and nature and things like this. I mean, I don't know what the correct answer is. I got super freaked out the other day, I'll be honest with you. I work in a company on Saturdays, which that makes this show actually really difficult. Where I actually have to like show up and be like, you know, coherent as a library teacher for kids that are like grade 1 to grade 6. And the reason that I do it is because it's an international school and we have teachers and assistants from over like 65 nationalities at a school. But I was talking about my daughter, you know, I was showing pictures. I've become that guy where I show amazing pictures of my daughter. Because she's, you know, super smart. Maybe all kids are super smart. But we got to the point where I was talking to this Brazilian girl and I said, you know, I want to do this thing where I travel. And she fucking freaked me out. She's like, yeah, go to Brazil. It's fine. But don't fucking go to
Brazil.
Like don't.
That's an interesting. Go to Costa Rica, Jimmy. Go to Brazil. That's an interesting thing for a wife to say.
No, it wasn't my wife. It was this girl I worked with.
Oh, sorry.
My wife totally wants to go to Brazil. She wants to like experience being kissed on the beach, you know, by some random guy that's trying to pick her up. And I'm totally okay with that because like I'm confident in my abilities to keep my wife, mostly because, you know, we have a shared daughter, so it makes things a little bit different. But anyway, like you wanted Obscurity, you got it.
Swinging Jimmy. That's right. What we got. Swinging Jimmy.
Swinging Jimmy.
I like that. You think that the shed was Swinging Jimmy. And I don't know what you're drinking, but I kind of want some.
All right.
And see.
No, but just let me finish. Like let me.
Here is the thing. Okay. Here is the thing. I kind of like we're doing the show a day earlier than usual. Well, keeps getting earlier and earlier in the week. But we're doing, I kind of like the Friday morning show for me because I feel like I can have a beer. Do you think it's all right if I have a beer for the last 15 minutes of the show?
I mean, we're already 2 hours in, so you may as well fucking crack a beer.
Okay. Give me 1 minute. Keep them entertained.
Yeah, fair enough. That might be difficult. But yeah, so I'll tell you the story, and I'll tell Sean later in the cast. But no shitting you, it freaked me out. I mean, my daughter is quite cute. You know, she's got these kind of curly locks, and I'm not throwing shade at any nationality or any country in general, but it really freaked me out. And so I just want to say this because the person told me, yeah, come to Brazil, bring your family, bring your 1-year-old daughter. It'll be okay. But she said, don't go to India with a 1-year-old baby that is as beautiful as yours. Again, not throwing shade towards Indian people, but it freaked me out because apparently this girl was in India with her best friend. And half-breed kids are always cute. Charlie Q, yeah, 100%. Totally not politically correct, but I agree. there was actually a documentary in Japan called Hafu that basically talked about like, you know, the fact that Japanese call like, you know, half babies half. And it was a really interesting documentary. I don't really care. But anyway, Sean's back. And he's back for the best part. So the friend of mine.
So here's the thing.
Yeah, right. Here's the thing. So the friend of mine that told me this, she's like, apparently she was in India with her best friend who had a baby. He was super cute. And 3 things happened. And it was the same thing 3 times in a row, but the last one was the worst. Somebody tried to like snatch the baby because the baby was so cute. And the 3rd time, someone actually succeeded in snatching the baby from the mother's arms and running down the street with the baby. And my friend who like told me this story, like obviously the mother's like, she's like, she doesn't know what to do. Somebody just came up and grabbed her baby and ran away with it. And like she basically chased the guy down, tackled him to the ground. Like the baby fell on the ground, probably hit its head. I don't fucking know, but it's definitely better than being snatched, you know, by some random stranger who thinks that your baby is beautiful. And right, like NJ, what the fuck? And seriously, this is a person that's telling me this in my real life job that I work with every day. Fucking freaked me out. Like it got me to the level of like, okay, what is allowed and what is not allowed with kids? Like I hear that the soles of a baby's or any person's foot is like, okay, so like, can I somehow like take out the chip in the iPhone that like fucking tracks me from the government and like put it in there and like, you know, rename it on my on my computer to like find my fucking baby if I ever go to a country where like my baby Morton MD, you're totally cool. Indian abductions aren't cool. And again, I'm not trying to like throw shade at the Indian community, but it's a fucking thing there, right? Like it's like, welcome to Obscurity and Beyond. Because like right now on Obscurity and Beyond, we're talking about fucking baby abductions in other countries. And I'm fucking freaked out because my fucking baby is cute as shit.
Ricardo, drop your Wax account in the chat so I can add it to the wheel. I think you got here late. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's my wife's artwork.
What's it?
Wait, what?
That's wonderful.
Right? Like she's really good and she did it and I didn't even notice it and she had to actually point it out. How lame is that?
I remember when my wife found out she was pregnant with our son.
Yeah.
I got home. She was kind of, I don't know. She was like excited, but usually when I get home, you know, from wherever I was working at the time, I needed some time to just kind of like, I don't know, just some cool off time. And she's kind of like clingy, right? Like I get home and she's kind of clingy, like kind of behind my shoulder. And I'm like, hey, you know, what's going on here? I'm thinking, what's going on here?
Right.
And I guess she knew my routine. I always walk in the bathroom. She had put the pregnancy test like in the bathroom on the counter, right where I would see it.
Right. But you didn't.
Yeah, I don't see things really in front of that are in front of my face. And I was probably occupied like with something else, some crypto, or I can't remember. It was probably crypto. I had some crypto in my mind. I get home and I go in the bathroom and I don't see it, of course. And then she kind of says something and I kind of like see it, but it doesn't connect like what it is, like you know, it's a thermometer. Like it didn't. I just kind of looked and like put it back down and she's like, "You're not excited?" And I was like, "Huh? Excited about what?" And she's like, she's like, "We're having a boy," you know, or something like that. I don't. It wasn't a boy. It was she was pregnant, and I was like, "Oh my God!" And then I'm like, "Oh my God," because we weren't planning to have the second one. I knew she didn't really want to have the second one, and then she's pregnant, and we're like, "Oh God!" And the next 3 months were like tough wrapping our head around this. This was Ford, but now it's awesome. I love the fact that we have a boy and a girl, and they're best buddies. And
right.
But it was like it was tough, man, because when you're not really planning and then you get one. The worst would be if you had like twins, you know. Like, I remember when we were finding out what it was, I'm like, just don't be twins. Just don't be twins. And it wasn't. But Ford, he was a tough little dude. My daughter was a lot easier, but now he's awesome. So he was always kind of awesome. He's just difficult.
My brother has twins, actually. But yeah, fair enough. That's interesting, because like when my missus told me that we were having a baby, we were laying in bed, and we were both awake. So let's just leave it there, because we never lay in bed both awake. But anyway, like we were laying in bed and we were both awake, and she said to me, she said, we're gonna have a kid for our first daughter, right? And she said, we're gonna have a kid.
Right.
And my and I didn't really say anything. And my response was like, And there was that weird, uncomfortable silence that you just heard now.
Yeah.
And she rolled over. She kind of put her arm around me, and she's like, it's okay. I know that you'll be happy about it in 2 or 3 days, but it just takes you time to reflect on the reality of the world. And this is like why I love my wife. Like, she understands me to that level. Like, she knew that I wasn't going to react. And a little bit early, so let's just pretend that everything's okay, because we're just by the mark. But like, you know, when she said it to me the last time, I'm going to say that again. When she said it to me the last time, which was 2 or 3 weeks ago, well, a few more weeks ago now than that. When she said it to me the last time, she's like, I'm pretty sure that our daughter's going to have a sibling. I was much more ecstatic about it. I'm like, well, I know when that happens, and yeah, fuck it. Let's just deal with it.
Yeah.
Right. I do want to bring this up, though, because I think that this is really important. And I know that we got to get on and we got to do other things. And I got to turn the stream over to Sean, because Sean's much better managing this than me. Charlie Key, I have a problem with you. Very big problem with you. White people problems, maybe. But I do want to point this out, because I think this is something that's really interesting. In Europe, you know, in England, back in the day, if you had a tan, that was really highly valued, right? Because people assumed that you had enough money to travel over the world and go to places that were sunny. Sometimes, Sean, I like to pretend that people think that there's wisdom on my words, but maybe I'm just in my own head.
Anyways,
Japan, not quite done. Let me finish. In Japan, at about around the same time, people used to think that white babies were precious because they didn't have to go out into the fields and work. And I think this is a really interesting concept when you look at culturally. Because today, Japanese women, especially, they'll walk around with umbrellas over their head because they don't want to get a tan. They don't really know why, but having
that's not
white
why
skin,
women walk with. They don't want to get wrinkles, dude.
Let me finish. They don't. Okay. They don't in Japan, right? In Japan, right? I'm not talking about in America and other countries, right? In Japan, they walk around with an umbrella over their head because they feel like white skin is beautiful. Right, because white skin in Japan is a status symbol for not having to go out into the world, to having that life of luxury. But if you look at it from a European perspective, especially a North America, like a Northern European perspective, from England or France, white skin is actually different, right? Like, white skin means that you didn't have enough time or money to be able to travel somewhere where you got a tan. So life is all about perspective. Charlie Q, maybe you were making a joke, but you said Jimmy has white people problems. My kids are too cute, poor thing. I mean, I like you, Charlie, and I know you're here all the time, and I know you're saying this with dignity and respect. I know you're not being mean, but I do honestly believe that the world is all about perspective. And I really, this is going to sound really bad actually, but I really hope that my kids aren't as white as me. Like, I really hope that they have that, like, I'm pretty white, you're fucking right, you know? But I really hope that they have that ability to, like, you know, at least fucking get a tan in Miami once in their life. That's what I'm going to say. Sorry, go ahead, Sean.
A good base tan is not easy. I remember when I went to, we were going to Copenhagen, and we were getting on the plane with all the Copenhagen people. What I guess they're what are they, Danish? No, what? I can't hear. Copenhagen's in Denmark, right?
Jesus Christ, your stories are worse than mine.
Yeah. Anyways,
had like half a beer.
Are they Danish? They're Danish, right? I think they're Danish.
I don't fucking
Anyways,
know.
I always get Denmark and the Czech Republic confused, because we always go to Berlin, then we venture out, and it was all very, very foggy. But anyways, we were flying into Copenhagen and leaving Fort Lauderdale Airport, and the people that were from Copenhagen were flying back home, and they were all nuclear red, right? They had all been so sunburned. Like, I felt bad. Like, this was like second, third degree burns, like infringing on a third degree burn, because they had basically come to Miami and they had just gone outside on the beach and just sat there, and they had like blisters. And I was like, oh my God. A good base tan would have solved that. You got to level it up. You can't just, you know. Anyways, I'd like to
level up that Finney tan, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's Ricardo, I have asked you 2 times to asked you what your wax account was so I could add it to the wheel. You don't answer. I assume, because I thought you came in late, that you're not already on the wheel. If you're already on the wheel, let me know, because I'm going to spin this thing again, and we're going to give away another wax Finney. I'm
not really sure what I really want to give that away, but I just got to throw this up on the screen because this is too good. With the Donald Trump avatar. I want mixed kids, but white chicks won't give me the time of day. I mean, fair enough. I mean, this is like non-white people problems. I don't know how we clarify that.
He already did. You already did. Ricardo said he already did.
Yeah, he's got it right there.
Where?
RHVQY.WAM.
But where does it? Is it not show up for me because it's
no. Fuck. God damn it. I'm the one who's been drinking. It's okay. Right there on the fucking screen.
Hold on. Can you keep it up there for as long as you want? All right. I got it. I think it's because it thinks it's a link, maybe, so it doesn't display it for all of us. I could be wrong though.
Charlie Q, for any like normal person that isn't researched and very close-minded, you're going to be causing problems all day long because people don't get it. But I get what you're saying. This makes sense to me a lot. You know, like kids that might be mixed, that might be coming from different cultures, like this actually is a thing, right? Like they might be healthier, they might have stronger immunities, right? Like you're totally not wrong.
In Miami, it's a total melting pot. Like
right.
Every different skin color we grew up with, just exposed to everyone, a bunch of different cultures, which I feel like, I don't know, I go other places where it's not like that, and I'm like, it's funny. Right. I went to when I went to DC to B1 June, I was like, man, there's so many white women here.
Right.
It was crazy to me because in Miami, like it's you got some white, but some Latina, some, you know, you get a little bit of everything. So when I went to DC and it was like mostly white women, right? And they don't show any cleavage in DC, and they don't really wear heels. They're all kind of walking around in flats. And I was like, man, this is different, right? Because when I go to the beach or whatever, everyone's walking around in heels and like ass is hanging out and everything. It was just different, you know. It's a different vibe. Like I think I was talking to you before about how in Latin cultures they get a little closer, they're a little more touchy feely. So if you're not used to it, if you come from, I don't know, maybe middle of maybe not Texas, because you have Mexican influence and stuff, but if you come from like North Dakota, let me just be safe and say North Dakota, you come to Miami
and South Carolina, I mean, that might be a safe bet too,
right? And you know, they're Cuban men or women, they get right up like next to you when they talk to you, and they put their hands on you and stuff, and you might not be used to that, and you might take offense to it, but it's just a cross-cultural miscue. I think that's what they call it. Let me spin the wheel.
Well, wait, just a minute. Whose wheel is this? Who made this wheel? Because apparently Charlie Q isn't on the wheel, and he's kind of saying "fuck me." And I kind of feel like we should stop the wheel to put Charlie Q on the wheel because, like, you know, fuck. I'm sorry. I tried, Charlie.
Who won? This wasn't the name you just gave me. Look at this.
That was
on the screen. Amazing.
This is fucking rigged. This shit is rigged. Like a crypto podcaster puts his name in at the last minute and he wins. This is rigged fucking shit. Screw you guys, Jimmy D and Sean
Look
Ballent.
at this, Ricardo.
I can't believe you won,
Amazing.
Ricardo.
Amazing. And now, while it's up here, let's just burn the coin and see what they get. Ricardo is one of the most deserving community members. Not that Charlie Q isn't, but
Charlie Q is awesome. He just needs to be nicer to Buns.
Ricardo hosts the new hit podcast, Rolodex, and he named it after an airdrop that we find out what it is tonight, right? Rolo is the next BTC miner airdrop, and no one knows what it is. I know what it is, but no one besides like the super inner circle knows what it is, and it's going to be the most awesome of the BTC miner airdrops, and people are going to be pretty excited. And this character plays a role, not a major role, a minor role in Finney Volume 1. So let's burn this and let's see what Ricardo wins.
So you do that. I'll be back in a minute.
Okay. Here we go. Signing the transaction. Confirmation. Ricardo, are you ready to see which Finney you got? Could it be the ginger Finney? Could it be the elusive ginger Finney? Let's find out. No, I'm not from Brooklyn, but my daughter's name's Brooklyn. Refresh. And it is a iridium. The iridiums are flowing today. Let me send this to Ricardo. Congratulations, Ricardo, on your Iridium Finney. Look at that. He doesn't work for Cryptowriter. He works for the community. What a politician. Well, folks, no one more deserving than Ricardo. Next time we have this show, we'll give away some EOS Finneys. Is it EOS or EOS? I used to call it EOS for years, and then I switched to EOS, and Dan calls it EOS. EOS, EOS, or EOS?
I think I call it EOS.
Ooh, that's kind of like an in-between EOS and EOS.
Well, I mean, Japan is kind of like an in-between language, so. This is we're headed into really shady territory, by the way. Can you read that label?
Swinging Jimmy Saki.
Fair enough.
Do you always have your sake cold, or do you ever drink it warm?
Jesus Christ, I kind of wish that was warm.
My wife prefers her sake warm.
My sake warm? She prefers my sake warm?
My sake warm.
It's like tequila, but in the Japanese sense. My sake worm.
Sake worm. Sake worm?
Sake worm. For the first year I lived in Japan, actually, I lived in Hokkaido, which is the north of the island, which is quite cold. It's probably on par to Toronto or New York in terms of winter. And they drink something called Atsukan, which is like hot sake, and I really like it, but it hits hard, right? Because like it's warm, and it's like the little Brendan Lovejoy teacup things that he does, but it's like alcohol.
Yeah.
So it like kicks you in the ass, right? I love the fact, by the way, just as an aside, that like when we were on the roundtable tonight, that like 90% of the Cryptowriter patronage for that roundtable for the first 10 minutes was just taking the piss out of Brandon for drinking tea.
Oh yeah.
It was really good. Like the live comments were so good. It was good.
Good. I love Brandon. Yeah. He's he's a deep thinking nomad. And I love that about him. He's fun. I like having him on the show because he's always. What's interesting about Brandon is like when you and I speak, we don't necessarily think before we speak, but I feel like Brandon speaks before every single word he says. Like,
yeah,
there's always a pause
if he doesn't have thinking time.
Yeah. And that's why he couldn't get a word in on that one podcast show, because Zach was talking, and every time we'd ask Brandon a question, he'd have to pause and think. And by the time he came up with his answer, like Zach was talking or Adam was talking, and he can never get a word in, but that's okay.
Yeah, you bring up a good point though, because Brandon and Zach they're like polar opposites, right? Like you could tell that like Zach was getting annoyed because other people were speaking and he wanted to speak. And I'm not throwing shade at all. Like this is why he does what he does, and he's really good at what he does, right? But in my opinion, Brandon is like, what's his podcast name on the Cryptowriter channel?
Blocks Populi.
Yeah, that's kind of lame. Can we rename it?
Wow, it has deep Zen meaning. It has deep Zen meaning beyond your.
Hear me out.
It's third eye stuff, though.
Hear me out. Can we
rename it for the people?
Can we rename it to the Humble Genius? Because that's like in my mind.
That's a bit cheesy. Can you get cheesy. Ricardo's wax address off the screen before the bots start spamming him with
maybe
random Yoshi tokens? And Atomic has to shut him down.
Yeah, let's talk about
who doesn't want to get spammed with Yoshi tokens.
Right. I'll try to get that off. But what's your take on that? What's your take? I don't know how to get it off. The only way I know how to get it off is to put JK.
My take is that because we got removed from the EOS verification for a temporary amount of time because what we were doing wasn't in the spirit of NFTs. And I'm not sure if the spirit of NFTs has actually been like set in stone yet. And I think they realize that, but it's tough because they want to be considered a reputable marketplace. And again, there's going to be a vocal minority that complain. You're not going to please everyone, you know. I think that what they needed to do, and this is how I felt about when we lost our EOS verification temporarily, is that they need to look at the project. They need to look at the project and what their intentions are and the community behind the project. That should be taken into consideration, because us launching a giveaway Finney, right, on multiple chains, right, a Finney that has value, right, that the community has decided has value close to $100, whatever, any given time. We weren't giving away a free Finney to like make money and like scam people. That wasn't the intention. We want to grow our community, and that's why we did it. And there's nothing going on the EOS chain. Our roots come from EOS. We want to bring those people into our community. We also, you know, it's cool. We got EOS people like interested in wax, and we got wax people like building their collections on EOS. So that's a good thing. So maybe it wasn't in the spirit of NFTs to have a similar NFT on two different chains, but look at the project, look at the intent, right? If the intent is good and positive for the space, then it's not a problem. If the intent is just to spam and whatever, then it is a problem. But they need Atomic they're gonna almost need their own sort of governance, like a board, just a few people that actually look at these things on a case-to-case basis. I know someone in our community had an issue where he wanted to get his collection whitelisted and had to provide all these different documents and stuff. Like, it seemed crazy. And at first they didn't. You need a community of a certain size, like a Twitter following, I think. And at first he didn't have the Twitter following, but he reached out to the community and we all like this person, and boom, Twitter following kind of rushed in. And then when he presented that, they said that that he didn't get his Twitter following organically, so they weren't going to whitelist his collection. when really it was, and this is I could be off, but this is my understanding of kind of, you know, seeing this in passing. But the reason why he got the following is because he had, you know, people like this guy, so the community rushed in and gave him the following so he could get whitelisted. And then they say that it wasn't organic, you know, like he paid for the followers to get the whitelisting, which is that's why they need people that are, you know, in the space and in their, you know, their liaisons between all these communities that can say, no, like we know this guy, we've seen him around, like give him the whitelisting. Why need to prove all this?
I mean, to be fair, like I didn't know that story, but I think that's like quite impressive, right? Like, if you're at the level where you're gaining an audience quick enough to be like pinged by the people, like pinged by the organizations as being a bot, you must be doing something right. Like, hire that guy to fucking build your community. That's
his project. Oh man, I forget what it's called. Doctor. I think here's the funny thing. I think, okay, again, don't quote me on this because I could be completely wrong, but I think it's DeFi Doctor DeFi. But I think he and his wife started this NFT project where it's like recipes, right? You get these ingredients and you craft these things. It's like the most like wholesome NFT project imaginable. And yeah, his Twitter following got a little too crazy. I wonder.
So let's talk about that. Like, because we're gonna go at some point, but it's fucking. Yeah. You know, like seriously, like,
what's a hard stop in 12 minutes, Jimmy? Hard stop here, because we could drag this on for 4 hours. But let's go. Come on.
Are you gonna finish your beer in 12 minutes?
I'll finish it in the next sip. To be honest with you.
Well, are you gonna go get another one? And can we do
this ain't my first rodeo?
24 minutes?
No, I'm not gonna go get another one. I'm gonna probably. The sun's out for the first time in like 2 weeks. I'm probably going to mow the backyard and sweat this beer out, and then I'm gonna get back to work.
I'm probably gonna never do this podcast again with you ever.
Okay.
Again. Because like you're fucking mowing the backyard, and you are with a genius of design, and the fact that you're actually spending time working to mow the backyard. Do you ever have like random cats come into your backyard and piss?
Yeah, for sure. And my dog.
So, Jesus fucking Christ, just let me design your backyard so you never have to mow it again. I mean, backyards are so archaic, it doesn't make any sense. Just fucking grow clover, which plants nitrogen, and mint, which fucking keeps away cats, and every time you fucking step on it, I'm throwing a lot of F-bombs out here, but,
my backyard,
but every time you step on it, it gives this like spearmint smell. Like,
yeah,
get rid of the grass, man. That's all I'm saying.
My backyard is it's very nice, actually. I've put my wife and I, like, landscaping's one of our, one of the things we have in common. Like, we like to grind in the humidity. Who doesn't like to grind in the humidity?
Just take that out, and then transpose why Sean has 2 kids, because him and his wife like to grind in the humidity.
If you created this like work-free yard where we didn't have to cut our grass, and all the various plants just took care of themselves, and the weeds pulled themselves, and there are no cats pissing in the yard. I don't think the cats piss in the yard. I just know when there's a cat in the backyard, the dogs come out and they go full speed along the fence, and the cat's like, oh shit.
And obviously like crash into it, because dogs, like, I love dogs. I'm a dog person myself, but the funniest thing is like when a cat can leap over the fence and the dog slam into it.
Yeah, my dogs are exceptional at being mediocre, but they're not dumb to the point where they run into walls.
Oh, I love it.
Anyways, no, but I'm gonna mow the yard because this is why I like. Let me tell you why I like mowing the yard.
Okay,
let me tell you why I like mowing the yard, because that is my time to listen to a podcast, and I put it in, and I'm out there. I'm getting my vitamin D. I'm sweating, and I'm taking in a podcast, and everyone needs that in their life. A little. Get the heart rate up a little bit, taking some vitamin D, and listen to a podcast all at the same time.
Okay, I don't want to talk about this. I want to talk about something else, but then you forced me to talk about this, so I'm going to have to ask 2 questions at least. Question number 1, when you're out there and you're sweating and so
miscellaneous, agreed. Oh, we got to bring Bulging Idiot on. What were you saying, Jimmy?
No, like when you're out there the Nike hat is way more miscellaneous than anything we're saying on this show. When you're out there and you're sweating your balls off, are you doing that on a riding lawnmower?
No.
Okay.
I grew up.
Now, my second question is: are you doing it on a push mower that pushes itself, or are you actually doing it with a push mower?
Actual push mower.
Okay, fair enough. I approve. Fair enough. I don't approve of grass, but I.
And also, it's. As of Father's Day, it is electric. It's an Ego. I've switched all to electric power tools and stuff. Ego makes good. I mean, honestly, like the string trimmer, whatnot, it's not quite as good as my dad's good gas power, but it's good enough for what I do. And I've pretty much converted to all electric power tools, which is cool. And we've got one electric car, and there's what I like about the electric is it's quiet.
I feel bad about making this joke now because I'm a big fan of the electric car, but like I was just thinking, like, before you answered, you fixed your hat, and you're talking about like the electric power mower and like the blue rim up there, and I know you've talked fondly about your parents, but I was just kind of thinking, like, what would your parents say now? Not in a negative way, like in a positive way. It's like, it's my son. He's like cool. He's hip. He's using electric shit.
My mom doesn't know my mom has no idea what the fuck I do. My dad, like my mom doesn't. My mom doesn't care. Well, she's like, She doesn't. My mom doesn't know what
Yeah.
I don't have time. And my mom's really, really sharp, and she probably could get it. Like she'd pick it up quickly if I explained it to her. But it's just like a conversation we really don't have. My dad wants to know more. He always wants to know more, but I don't know if he can remember like exactly what I told him like last month, because it's all abstract, this whole crypto
Right.
thing. So it's like if I start, like he's like, so how's, he's like, how, he'll go to me, so he's like, so how, you said June was going to be a big month, right? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, so how's it going? But he doesn't know what, like, how's what going, so if I start telling him like, oh, we're getting ready for Finney 2.0 volume 1 launch, whatever, then I have to go back and like lay out like what proof of work is, and like start from there and like build it up. So I'm kind of, and I feel guilty, but whenever he asks, I'm kind of like, yeah, it's good,
Hey,
and
can you can you just do me a favor? And I won't push it until I actually meet your dad, because I think someday I will be in a backyard barbecue with your dad, and he's gonna love me.
Yeah,
His dad's
great.
love me, right? But like this is what I want to see happen. What I want to see happen is like a cryptid dad Finney that's like based on your dad, right? and then we do a show with your dad, online. It's been like we're gonna burn this, and your dad's like, huh? What are we gonna do? We're gonna destroy me? Yeah, but we're gonna destroy you, and we're gonna like amp the level up, right? That would be kind of fun to
Dude,
like figure out.
my dad is the reason I got into tech. My dad was he taught like technology, and I remember as a little kid, he was talking to some. This is kind of trippy because Kenny's from Australia, but one of my earliest like tech memories of my dad, like right after he got internet, and it was like 14.4, it was like 14.4 dial up. Like this is back in the day. I remember when 28K came out, and you're like, oh shit. But I remember my dad being in his office, this back room, and he had these like stereo speakers, but he had a webcam. It was like a ball, and he was talking on this little desk mic. It was like a thin little thing that popped up, and he was talking to some random guy in Australia. And it was the middle of the night, and for whatever reason I was up, and my dad was like, in my dad's mind, he thought this was like the coolest thing, and at the time it probably was the coolest thing, but he was ahead of his time in that regard, and that's kind of what caught on. Like I always we were on computers like before most kids our age, and then my dad was like the guy who was teaching us how to like rip CDs and DVDs. So in high school or middle school or whatever, you're going on Napster and you're downloading, and we were ripping it to CD and then flipping them for like $10, and that all came from my dad teaching us how to do that. So he's a cool dude, man. He's younger than his years, that's for sure.
I love it. I'm kind of, that story causes me problems, because when I actually ever meet it, when I actually ever make it to your parents' barbecue that they host on a Sunday, because family is important to them, I'm gonna kind of feel bad, because I'm gonna spend most of my time learning and entertaining your dad, and I'm not going to be speaking to you. And
that's fine. We speak enough.
Thanks for that. But that's the thing, right? Like
does that count? No, that's not a here's the thing.
That's totally here's the thing. Here's the thing is a here's the thing.
First burp on edge to the edge.
First burp on edge to the edge.
Edge to the edge. Edge to the edge. Swinging Jimmy loves edging.
Right. So where here's the thing. This totally counts.
8 or 9 something. 8.5.
But it's funny because I don't say that any more than you. You're one of my favorite people in the space. Not because of what you're doing, not because of all the amazing things that Crypto Finney has become. just because you're you. Right? Like
come on, dude. You do this every episode. The sentimental Jimmy kicks in when things are wrapping up. We're gonna see each other. We're gonna probably talk to each other like one more, like early next week. We're probably gonna do this show again. You don't need to.
no,
But every episode, I get it.
Right,
I love
right,
you too. I love you too. Just say I love you, Sean. I'll say Jimmy, I love you too. We'll end this
yeah, but as you said, this gives me 20 more minutes of wrap up time, right?
Jesus. I mean, I intermittent fast. Usually 2:30's pushing it for me for my first meal, but I can literally go to like 5 p.m. and not eat anything, even after a CrossFit workout, which is pretty impressive. But I usually like to eat about now.
Yeah, fair enough. You took the shit out of me last week, though. So we're gonna do one more thing before we leave.
Okay.
Because I want to do this. I just want to have fun with Uplift Team, because we already had fun with Cryptowriter, and I burned a shitload of packs. I spent way too much money to get a shitload of packs, and I wanted a mythic. I wanted a mythic miner.
Oh yes, the mythic miner.
Jimmy,
this is not a passive income play. Okay, it's a drip. It's an uplifting drip. I hope you understand that.
I'm fucking part of the team. I totally understand.
I know. I read that. I read a good comment today. Ooh, Antetokounmpo is out for Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Hot off the press.
So here's the thing.
Okay.
What I love about my team, and
Jimmy's gonna give away a mythic right here, right now.
I'm probably not gonna give away a mythic.
Did you get a mythic?
No, I'm gonna fucking burn the pack online right now.
Backdoor deal. Okay, this is grand finale.
Yeah, this is the grand finale. But what I love about my team is I didn't even know about this. I got hit up by Neon Space, by Ramsey, in Neon Space, who's coming on our channel tomorrow. And he said to me, he's like, "Hey man, look what I pulled." And I looked at the NFT, and the mythic NFT was named Jimmy's Magic Words. I was like, holy fuck, there's a fucking NFT named after me.
Swinging Jimmy's Miner.
Right? Swinging Jimmy's Miner might have been a better fit. Can you see my screen?
Swing big.
Can you see? You can see the open button. So let's open this.
Yeah, we can see
what happens. And if I get a mythic, Sean, if I get a mythic or I get a land, I love our community. You guys are all awesome. I'm going to stake whatever I get because we just don't have time to do another wheel spin. But if I get a mythic or if I get a land, Sean, I'm going to send it to you because I appreciate doing these podcasts with you in my own sentimental way. For the last 20 minutes, that will probably only be 10 today. But let's see what we get, and let's do it.
All right, vamos. Here we go.
Atomic Hub apparently is really slow.
It was fast for me. I don't know if you noticed that. It was fast for me, slow for you. You got to restart your computer every once in a while.
Yeah, well,
life hack.
I probably need to restart my computer in general.
Yeah, I restarted my computer before the show today, and I feel it was a little snappier than usual.
Right? Like snappy.
Okay, here we go. The double sign.
Right, like Atomic.
Atomic. You're about to get snubbed. No mythic. Let's see if Jimmy pulls a pleb pack, a total pleb plaque.
I mean, I'm okay with the pleb packs because the pool's on.
How many cards are in a pack?
I don't fucking know this shit. You'd think that I would, but I don't know. We're innovating so fast that I have no idea.
Yeah.
Like, because we don't have a roadmap, so I don't know.
Uplifting Volume 1.
I kind of hope that we get a Jimmy D so that I can just send it to you.
Is there any chance you get like a Yoshi coin in this?
No.
Oh. That's weird.
So mostly why is it weird? It's
Because
two different things.
Yoshi coins just seem to be connected to everything somehow. I don't know. I look in my account and there's like new Yoshi coins popping up. I don't even know where they're coming from.
Well, I mean, actually, to be honest, we're not sending out Yoshi coins anymore because, as you alluded to in the first, 5 minutes of the stream, we don't do that.
Ooh, you got an epic. You got an epic, bruh.
Yeah, that's all right. I might send that to you as a consolation prize, but
I don't have one of these.
Like
I don't have one of these, to be honest with you. What's that bottom right?
You don't have an epic?
I don't think I have an epic.
Fuck, I'll send you an epic.
What are those bottom right ones? Community is power. What are those? That's like a 4.
Oh, those are the
3
rares.
battery. Oh, those are rares. So an epic's 4 battery charges.
Oh, ooh, holy shit!
A land? You got a land?
I got a land, but I don't get.
This is a good.
Stop, because I don't. I have a land, but I don't have a land because I'm going to send this land to you because I already promised to send it to my co-host on Obscurity and Beyond. So you will be the proud owner of a random plot in Uplift that has some.
Is that the most popular one right now?
I don't. Honestly, I don't know. There's so many.
I don't know either. But our builder,
but
our builder, shout out to Smitty. Smitty said that he's building now, and he's starting to see people like flying around checking shit out, which means that the herd is coming. Smitty, I said the reason why is because they've heard what a legendary builder you are, and they just want to watch you build. So they see him on the 2D map, and then everyone flies over to watch him build our shit, you know?
Right.
Land. Dznuts.gm. DEZNUTZ.gm. D's nuts. All right.
This is kind of big, Sean. Like the fact that like I've opened.
You're a soothsayer, it seems like, because you knew it was coming. He might be a soothsayer.
I've opened 30 packs. 30 packs on this, and I've gotten 2 lands.
Oh, shout out! You should buy a Horrors 2-pack tomorrow.
Totally. We had them on the show earlier today.
Yeah. And did you see the collab that we did with them?
Yes, I love it.
Yeah, but I'm excited. I think they're doing and I'll botch this, but they're doing like a 13-minute sale with a 1-minute cool off, but you might be able to buy like 10 packs at a time. And it's an open sale for 13 minutes. Should be interesting, but it's tomorrow, I think, for me at least. But I'm actually gonna buy some packs because I'm excited for that. And anyways,
man, like 13 minutes is like the Death Star for me. Like I don't know how to sign on at the right time. Half of the time, like
oh god, yeah,
dude, like. The last 2 times that I've had Terry Crews scheduled, I've been on another fucking stream. I've been on another stream with other people, and he's just like, "Fuck you, I'm gonna."
Okay,
walk the dogs.
So I bought a I bought Uplift Land and Uplift them. But my last like bonds was like, hey, we're doing a prospectors land sale. So I'm like, okay, let me try to get in on this. And then bonds and the prospectors team, they had the sale, but they didn't have enough RAM like staked to their account, whatever. So then like this is this is noob stuff. Okay, these guys have been in the game long enough to know you got to have some RAM in your account to pull this off. So I go to do a sale, but they weren't providing enough RAM, so it got like locked up. And then a few minutes later, Bonds is like, "Okay, we fixed it. We fixed it." I go to purchase, and I get an error. Well, first I go to purchase. There's a countdown timer, and I'm like, "Huh, what?" And I go to purchase again, and then I get an error that says I've already reached my like limit of purchases. I haven't purchased a single one, and it's telling me I've reached my limit. Then I got another timer, and then I went to purchase, and it's like sold out. So growing pains, but stuff like that's annoying. I know people with credit card payments and stuff. I'm a little nervous because we're working towards credit card payments with facings for our volume 1 pack drop. They're using a different vendor though, and they're like re-engineering. They've got a couple drops coming out before ours that'll use credit cards, so hopefully they work out the kinks. But you know, you're a little nervous, but you want these things to go smoothly. So yeah.
So generally in Japan, what happens is the husbands come home from work and they give their wives their paycheck and they get a weekly allowance.
Yes.
What happens with me, because take what you will for that, but like we had a conversation last week whereby you told me that like the amount of money that you would need to live in Miami, for example, is like a dual person income, like both husband and wife need to work, or it's really not possible, right?
Did I have that conversation with you? Most probably.
I think so.
That might have been Corey. But anyways, yeah, I mean, it depends it depends where you live and how you live. Like, if you're going to be Uber Eatsing all weekend, then yeah, sure.
Like, no, but I don't. It was totally with me. Like, if you thought it was with somebody else, but if you thought it was Corey, then I'm in the Matrix. We're melting. But anyway, so this is what I do in my relationship with my wife. Is I'm pretty sure the Japanese government doesn't speak English, so I can say this. But essentially, I employ my wife as my accountant because she's super smart. And Japanese women, mostly, they don't work. And it's not because they're privileged. It's just because it doesn't make sense for them to work, right? Like they don't get the same salary as men. They don't get the same respect as men. There's not childcare as men. There's this dynamic where a guy will work like 90 hours a week or 70 hours a week until someone committed suicide for overwork, and the Japanese government decided that they needed to put an hourly rate on, you know, how many hours a person should work a week, and the average at that time was like I think 75, but the person who committed suicide because they were overworked was like maybe 105. And so the Japanese government decided that they should maybe set it at 90, which essentially made all companies in Japan say, well, we're only working you 75 hours a week, so let's add 10 more to your hourly. This is the country that we live in.
So this is why you podcast 12 hours a day.
Right? No, I podcast 12 hours
7 days a week.
Because I love people like you, but I am getting somewhere with this, right? There's something on the screen here right now. It says Jimmy is a little bit sad right now. I'm totally sad right now, but there's only one reason that I'm sad right now. The reason that I'm sad right now is because there's the land that's spinning in the bottom right corner of that screen, and I'm gonna give it to you, Sean. I'm gonna send it over to your account. DM me with your account information. I will send it to you. Keep that in your account, and you will actually get a plot in the Uplift.
Okay.
I'm not sad because I'm giving it to you. Actually, I'm sad because I'm not giving it to somebody who is in the community who is watching us, and I want to do more stuff with this from you. So as my final sentimental thing on this show tonight, what I will say is, Sean, you are one of the most stand-up community members that I know, other than Corey, because Corey's like really good as well. I'm not making comparisons. I'm putting you on the same level. You guys enjoy and you do a really good job giving back to the community. Like, you don't burn your own coins, right? Like, you don't collect your own shit, right? Like, you do a little bit, but what you relish in, what you love, is giving back to the community. You're always on these podcasts. You're always on our Roundtable podcast. You're always on the Cryptowriter podcast, throwing out Finney coins. And I remember, like, one of the few arguments that you and I had is like, why you don't want to give away your coins? Like, I fucking love giving away coins. And it's true.
We're just setting up our rug pull.
Right, because like yeah,
we're just setting up the rug pull. Just got to give it time. No.
Right. Like get everyone to buy into your coins. Give away a shit ton of them, and then pull the rug. Like, because when you're giving shit away for free and the price goes to zero, that's not cool.
No, we're just we're playing the long game. We're gonna have this massive $1 billion sale, and then we're gonna vanish. No, these guys. It's the community keeps you going. We have fun. It feels good for the Finney coin sugar daddy. That's me, to just keep handing these things out, because the way I see it is, not only do people have fun with it, my favorite thing is when someone new joins the chat and you can tell they're genuine, spirit. The best thing you can do is just, I reach out to them in a DM and I gift them a coin, just like no questions asked, just here, like, burn it, do what you want with it. Because part of me thinks like, hey, you don't know who these people are, and one coin could be, if they wanted to burn it, they'd have fun, they'd enter the world of Finney. But if they want to sell it, that $90 could like be a week's worth of food. You don't know, right? And just giving, if everyone gave a little more, I think world's a better place. So yeah,
I agree, and this is part of the reason why I love doing this show with you.
All right, I gotta take a piss, Jimmy, and I gotta eat something.
No, we're gonna cut it. Give me 1 minute.
Okay. Oh, 1 minute on the clock. He's on the clock, folks. I've always wanted to put a timer. If he'd give me admin privileges, whenever he said, "Here's the thing," there's a 20-second timer, and he's just got to get it out, or he gets muted. And then we'd give him, whenever he says like a minute, we would actually have a timer at the bottom of the screen that you'd see it, and you'd see the time ticking down. He'd start talking faster and faster so he can try to get out everything he needed to say, and then